It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, throw to Rizzo.
It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday edition. It's victory. It's White Sox Victory Monday today, baby. I'm fired the freak up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and we have a lot of sports to get to today. Now, listen, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you follow us on Facebook. That's excellent. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what are you doing? What are you doing over there? Forget about it. All right, go to Facebook. Okay, type in SportsZone Chicago and click like. Bloop, bloop. You like it. Also, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning and click bloop, bloop. You like that. You like that. You like that. For those of you who don't know what I'm saying, just like that. Just like that, click like on Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. Now, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. Now, listen, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what in God's name are you doing? What are you doing if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel? All right, so go to YouTube, okay? Click. Once you get to YouTube, type in SportsZone Chicago, okay? And there's going to be a little thingy right there. So subscribe. You're going to go bloop, bloop. You're going to click that and subscribe, okay? And not only will you get Shawn and Maya in the morning, but you know what? You're going to get, this is what you're going to get our 4 other live shows. So check it out. How you doing, okay? And listen, if you're watching us on the app, excelente. And if you haven't downloaded the app, what in God's name are you doing? Come on now. Get with the program. Stop playing around. All right? Wherever you get your apps from, iTunes, Google Play, Walmart, Sam's Club, Walgreens, CVS, wherever you get your apps from. Okay? Type in SportsZone Chicago. Okay? And download it. Take us with you on the go, as I said. Not only will you get Shawn and Maya in the morning, you're going to get our 4 other live shows as well as a slew. I like that word slew. A slew of podcasts. Okay? Now, listen, guys, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SM_mornings, at SM_mornings, or at SportsZone Shy, the CHI, at SportsZone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. Want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you, folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, you can do it. And because you do it just for the gram, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring him out. And he said, no, he's eating. He's brushing. You're picking your nose. You're brushing your teeth. What are you doing? I'm just kidding. I'm messing with him. I'm messing with you, player. I'm messing with you, player. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring him out. He is the man behind the curtain, the man to make it run smoothly. He is my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa?
Oh, what's up, Shawn? Yeah, no, I had no headphones in or anything like that. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be sitting here mouthing stuff. No, it's a good day. It's a little gloomy, but I'm looking forward to it. Man, dude, you know, I just gotta say, some of this bothering me.
What's
and just some of this with the alphabet people and the lack of awareness of what a fully developed male body can do to a woman, and how a 43-year-old man or 43-year-old woman, whatever, can qualify for the Olympic trials and just completely obliterate a female champion. Like, I mean, there's just so much to talk about. I don't want to even get started. I know we got Joseph coming on. I know Joseph has something to say about it too, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. There's a problem. There's a problem.
There is. That's my guy Ivan stirring shit up already. We didn't even start the first segment, and he starts some craziness. You know what? That's why I love him. That's why I love him, dude. That is awesome. Hey, listen, we have a great show, but we need you to get interactive, man. We got people already chiming in, checking in. Whatever platform you're watching this on, whether it be Facebook, whether it be our YouTube channel, or whether it be our app, okay? Just leave a question or comment right there, wherever you're watching it from, and our super producer, Ivan Vargas, will put it on the screen. David Garvin, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling everybody to smash the like button. I appreciate it. Arles Jones, what's up, Papa? How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Marshawn, what's up, Papa? How you doing? Yeah. You went to the game on Saturday. Yeah, I know you. We were. I didn't get to hang with you, but yeah, it was a shit show. Let me just tell you, it was that's a pretty good. That's about right. That's about what I looked like when it was all said and done. Hey, but you know what? I was hanging with my high school buddies. All right, some of these guys I hadn't seen in years. I was definitely gone. Let me tell you, some of these guys I hadn't seen in years. One of the guys I hadn't seen since I graduated high school. Since we graduated high school. Crazy. Let's just say a lot of alcohol was consumed that night, boys. It was a good time seeing those. And Luis Mejia, you know what? Hold on. Stop the press. I have to send a huge shout out. A huge thank you to my guy, Luis Mejia. Okay? Dude, Luis Mejia. So I didn't go to the game yesterday. He did. He went Friday and Sunday. Okay? I didn't go to the game yesterday. And I was like, oh, man, dude. I'm like, all right. They're giving out the Lucas Giolito bobblehead, the Star Wars, the X-Wing fighter bobblehead.
Twisted your arm a little bit? Just a little bit? Twisted your arm?
But so I didn't go. Dude. I was hanging from Saturday, dude. There was no way I was making it.
Man.
No, dude. No, there's no way.
Bro.
No way I'm making it. So I've met Lewis through his girlfriend who I do CrossFit with her. Okay. Galia, a big shout out to Sniper G. And man, I get there and I'm telling her about the game. She's like, oh yeah, we were there yesterday. And all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, I have this for you. I was like, oh hell no.
Dope.
I was like, oh hell no. So I was like, you would have swore she gave me $1 million. You would have swore she gave me. She's like, oh, me and Louis got it for you. I'm like, no freaking way. So I got my Lucas Giolito bobblehead. Hey, so big shout out to Sniper G, Galia, and my man Luis Mejia. Thank you. Believe me, next time I see you, I got you. I got a beer. I got a round or a drink or two for you. Let me tell you, thank you so much. But listen, folks, we got a great show for you. And you know what? You know how we do. It's going to be a little crowded this morning, Ivan. We're waiting for our guy Joseph. He's ready. He's ready to roll. He's lathered up, boy. I'm fired up. He's coming on. And then at 9:30,
we see you, Justin.
We see you, Baba. And then at 9:30, Jason's coming on. So we're gonna have the Chicago Crusader in the house. And then at 10 o'clock, Kenneth Davis will be with us. At 11 o'clock, my man, calling from the AZ. He's getting up early out there. We're gonna talk some NBA playoffs with Paul Richardson. He's from the Sports Cave out in Arizona. And I'll tell you what, the Suns are one win away from their first NBA Finals since, when the Bulls beat them. Sorry. Then I got to worry about the Bulls beating them, so we're good. We are good. So we got a great show for you, man. But as I said, I'm fired the freak up. But you know how we do, guys. Let's get it in. First segment of every show, it's called Top of the Morning.
Just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The Top of the Morning segment is powered by the Chicago Crusader newspaper. And with that, we bring in their guy. We bring in our guy. We bring in your guy. He's the sports editor over there at the Chicago Crusader newspaper. He's a dude you can find on Twitter at ACA Joe. Let's bring him out. Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa?
What's up, Papa? God bless.
How you doing?
Breaking news. Tell Maya she got a stalker in Arles T. Jones. Hey, he be taking pictures outside your window, so just tell her to be careful. Whatever she do, don't give up your information online, okay? Because he will be there.
And close your curtains before you change.
Close your curtains. He will be outside the window taking photos.
You're out of control. How's your weekend, Papa?
Oh man, it was excellent. Excellent.
Yeah?
Excellent. Yeah,
Good.
finally got a chance to reset, get back into my groove. Got my 3 stories done. I did a piece on Zach Levine making Team USA. Thad Young earning the Hustle Award. And last but not least, I did a piece on just the Bulls draft lottery situation and them being glad that they did trade those 2 picks so they could get Vooch. And hopefully they can extend that move and do something in the off season by bringing in a point guard. Hopefully Ben Simmons, hopefully.
I don't. I mean, we're gonna go there because you started it. We're gonna go there. I don't want that sissy soft stuff. Fuck him, dude. No.
I started.
Ivan started it, and you threw the gas. Ivan started the fire, and you threw the kerosene on it. Okay,
Hey,
we're gonna go there.
You was like Hulk Hogan. You was like, let me tell you something, brother. I thought Ivan was about to get started back there with the transgender weightlifter. So that's a whole different story within itself.
Joseph's coming out fire today, man.
Man, Joseph, awesome stuff.
Anyway, guys, the first top of the morning topic: the Cubs. The Cubs fall to the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers of LA 7-1. That was a rough game yesterday. Albert Alzolay, had a rough start. He took the L. He's 4-7. He went 3 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 4 of them earned, 3 walks, 3 punch outs. The only way the Cubs got on the board, a solo home run by Javi Baez, his 18th of the year, driving in his 47th run of the year. This is a rough one. You're dealing with the big dogs now, and you got it was tough. It was tough. You got the first one, but it's been rough going after since then.
Yeah, unfortunately, Alzolay's slider wasn't working yesterday, which is his go-to pitch, his signature pitch, and he definitely wasn't hitting the zone. And it was kind of like a perfect storm. We've been beating the snot out of the Dodgers with the past, over our last meeting, and they had revenge on their mind. Even though we hit them in the first game, they felt like, you know what, we gotta fight back. I think we kind of woke them up a little bit.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, Rizzo having back injuries, it's been an occurring thing. These lower back injuries. Hopefully, he won't be out for too long. They said that's a possibility. He'll be back soon. But I'm concerned about that. And then the typical Cubs falling back into their old traditional solo shot offense. Javi comes in, hit his home run, and then the rest of the team just sucks. So hopefully we can change that, get back to the approach that got us at least 7 or 8 games over 500, which is working the count, grinding it out. We need some grinders, man. One thing I heard on the broadcast yesterday, talking about how Chris Taylor and Muncy were grinders. And it's like, yeah, well, we need someone who can grind out at bats and not just swing at stuff bouncing off the ground. And don't be an easy out, And as they say back in the 80s, my dad, and don't be an easy lay,
Yeah.
Fight, do something, don't give it up so easy.
The losing streak that the Cubs have, they put them 3 games back of the Brewers in the NL Central. And, it was, I wonder when they're going to play the Brewers again. Oh, They start today. So you know what? They can make that ground up starting today. You know, you had. I mean, LA's got some tough. They got some pitching, man. LA's good. LA's really, really, really good. Let's not get it twisted. And these are the teams you're going to have to face to get through or get to the World Series. You know, at some particular point. So it's good what you did to them. You know, in LA they came. I mean, back here, then they went to LA and they're on their home court, or home field, so they decided to take advantage. So I think you're right, Joseph, when you said that when they got no hit the first game, it really woke them up. It really, really woke them up. So you got to come up with everything ablazing, and they were just too tough for the Cubs the last couple of games. So,
and the crazy part about all of this, Shawn, it seems like when we need Jason Hayward to hit, he doesn't hit. But all of a sudden, he goes almost 7 for 9, or through the whole series. I'm just like, where's this been? Like,
Joseph, I was watching it and thinking of you. I was like, man, Joseph is probably sitting here thinking the same damn thing. And you sure are, because I was thinking the same thing you are. Like, where is this when we need you?
Right, and then it's never with pressure on, and I don't like talking about this over and over again, but it's just like, like it's certain pitches he know how to hit, and then everybody else is like, oh, we have his number. My whole thing is when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals, man, he used to destroy us. Okay, that's why we signed him, but I don't see that out of this player, and I don't think we're getting our money's worth. I'm just being honest. The occasional single, the occasional infield hit. It can really be tiresome to see that. And then also the Brewers, they're really good. They're a really good team, but it's just the fact that at the end of the day, we do need to send a message this series, because the last time we played them, it's a lot of backwards and forth and stuff. So we got to establish that this series.
Yeah, you do. And no better way to get it going. You just came off a tough loss to the Dodgers again. And you know what? That's the thing about baseball. You're right back up on that horse. And and it happens to be against a team that you're trailing, that you're 3 games back. You got the professor on the bump today. Kyle Hendricks is going. He's 10-4 with a 3.84 ERA. He's going against Freddie Peralta, who's 7-2 with a 2.11 ERA. That game's tonight at 7:10. It's on the Marquee Network and on 670 AM on the radio side. So you got your ace going, and hopefully he's a slump buster or a streak buster, and you can write that ship, because every game you play in this 3-game set counts for a complete game, not a half game, because you're playing the team directly in front of you. So that's the great thing about baseball is like you have a chance. It's not like football where you got to wait a week. It's not like basketball where you got to wait a day or two. Sometimes baseball is every day. And you get to right the wrongs, and you get to start anew every day. And after getting your ass kicked, okay, you know what? You got your ass kicked. You put it behind you. Now you move forward. And you know what? Maybe that ass kicking, maybe they wake the Cubs up. Like the shutout, the no hitter that you gave the Dodgers woke them up. Guess what? Maybe there's 3 games after that when they gave it to you. Maybe hopefully that wakes you guys up. And if it does, you know what? Then the Brewers are in for a rough 3 games, because I
totally agree. Like also the Brewers, they've been, and I'm not trying to like come at them or anything like that, but they've been getting a steady diet of the Colorado Rockies and a little bit of the Pirates, even though they struggle with the Reds, but they had a really easy schedule. And every time I look up, they're playing like bottom feeder teams, back to back to back, Diamondbacks. I'm like, whoa, when are they going to get any competition? And now they're going to come in super charged up against us because they're 3 games up, and their heads are through the roof. Their confidence are through the roof. And it's going to be a struggle to beat them because they feel that they have an advantage against us. But I think we got to really play like playoff baseball against them, and just to send a message that, hey, y'all got y'all a nice little break in the schedule. We had a harder schedule. But we're not complaining. We're going to play through it in spite of it.
Do you think I know, but how aggressive and who would you think they should go after? Because they need some starting pitching help. You see how Jake Arrieta has struggled. And I'm not saying he can't fix some things and be as good as he was at the beginning of the year. But he's been giving up way too many runs to be our number 3. you know what I'm saying, to be our number 2 even. We need to find some more starting pitching, and I don't know how they're going to do that. Do you think that you think they pull the trigger, or what do you think? Stay pat?
Well,
what do you think?
They're gonna probably have to like give up one of our prospects. I don't know who that would be. As long as they don't touch Ed Howard, he just homered yesterday off the pole and gave everybody free tacos or something like that. So we don't want it to be Ed Howard, so leave him alone. But other than that, we can tap into the Twins starting rotation. Hopefully, hopefully they'll be sellers at the trade deadline. I think they got a couple of guys that we'll like to look at. The Colorado Rockies. We can tap into their rotation. They have a few guys we're interested in. So I believe there are trade partners out there, and hopefully, low-key, Jed Hoyer is on the phones looking to improve this team, because if you just sit there and just watch them waste away, even though Jed
Joseph, come on, Joseph. He's not sitting there not doing anything. He's making calls. He's trying to improve the team. He understands. If you guys see it, come on. He can't. He's a disciple of Theo. Okay, so he knows. So darn well he's not sitting idle on his hands. He's making moves, but he still doesn't know exactly what to do. Okay, but
the situation is laying itself out. Like it's laying itself out. Rizzo.
So what if you? What if you guys sweep the Brewers now, and now you're back in first place again?
But if we lose one game to the Brewers, we're going to be in trouble. Okay, this is do or die for the Cubs, and I believe it is, because we went to sleep on Friday. We wasn't 3 games back. Okay, we're 3 games back, and it's not easy to play catch up when a team is hot, consistently hot like the Brewers. Out of the Cardinals just disappeared. The Brewers always have a chip on their shoulder, especially when it comes to us. They feel that we're beneath them because we take over their stadium, as I mentioned before. They don't like us because of Craig Counsell, who he feels like he has an advantage over us because of what he did with the Diamondbacks and the Florida Marlins. And then in addition to that, it's just that Green Bay, Chicago thing. You know how it goes, man. The cheeseheads, they just don't like us. So they looking to put us away. They're probably going to try to make a statement in game 1 tonight. And if Cal Hendricks is not hitting his location and Peralta has been on fire, we can be in a lot of trouble, especially with the offense squandering the way that they've been, So at the end of the day, I'm not taking anything for granted. I know I almost call him Theo and Jed. Jed Hoyer said something that was really key. He says that we'll see where this team is by the end of June. Is it the end of June? Yes, it is. So therefore, he's allowed things to play out. And if they lose this series and they 6 games back, then it's going to be trouble. And
there's a big difference losing a series and a difference between 6 games back. Because if you lose a series, you're going to be 4 games back. If you get swept, then you're 6.
Right. And that's why I said if they lose, they get swept, period.
Okay. Oh, you said lose a series. Because if you lose a series, it's 2-1.
Like we don't win any games. We're 6 games back. And Jed's going to be on the phone like, you know what? This team has given all they could. We're gonna go from being buyers to sellers. You see what I mean? So what I'm saying is they gotta understand the value of this series. Milwaukee will love to put us away. Okay. There it is. There it is right there. Okay. There it is.
That's what I mentioned, Armando. He said it earlier in the segment. And I think I don't know if I agree with that though. I think you're gonna wait till the All-Star break until you do something, which don't get me wrong, the All-Star break's pretty close. But it's still, because just like you had a 3-game losing streak, guess what? So can the Brewers. Okay, the Brewers can go on and you can have a 3-game winning streak, and boom, there you go. And all of a sudden, instead of 6 games back, you're 3. Or instead of 4 games back, you're 1. But I do think you're right that Theo needs Theo. Now you got me saying Theo. Jed, yeah, Theo, Thed, and Jed. All 3 of them have to. They got to make sure that they got to go get some pitching. They really do. You got to stop. First of all, you got to stop the schneid you're on. All right, you got to stop this. And who better to do that? Kyle Hendricks has been on fire after a slow start. He's 8-0 with a 2.25 ERA in his last 8 starts. Okay?
That's what I'm concerned about, Shawn. He's going into a series and he has not lost in 8 games. He's hot. So sooner or later, he's going to have to cool off. Not saying that you just give it away, but he's been getting away with certain pitches in the zone. I've been noticing that. He's gone 8-0 without his best stuff. You see what I mean?
So if that's his best stuff, why are you being negative Nancy, dude? Stop it.
No,
no, you are, because if you just told me he hasn't had his best stuff, what if he has his best stuff today? What if he has his best stuff? So why are you looking at he can lose because it's 8-0, but he hasn't had his best stuff? What if he has his best stuff today?
I'm looking for Kyle Hendricks to have his better stuff today. He's been consistent after I think we talked to Evan, Shawn, like a month ago, where he's giving up the long ball, but then all of a sudden you saw the turn. You saw him get over the hump, and he started being more consistent. He started looking like Kyle Hendricks again, more consistent. Low contact, and he just looks better. To me, I like them winning game 1 with Kyle, but after that, it gets very, very, hit or miss.
Shaky, right? So this is where I'm coming from again. If you watch the games 2 and 3 of the Cubs-Dodgers series, you understand what I'm talking about. Wilson Contreras, for some reason,
Joe, make your point. You guys take a break.
Point and keep it moving. Wilson Contreras, for some reason, wants to call certain pitches at the wrong time. So back-to-back games. Actually, that's how we lost that Dodgers series, because of the bullpen blowing it. And then with Kyle Hendricks coming in with an 8-0 record, I think they're gonna have an edge against us tonight. That's just what I believe. I'm not trying to be negative, Nancy.
You are. So you just said. So this is exactly what you said. So with Kyle Hendricks coming in with an 8-0 record, his last 8 starts, they have the advantage. That's exactly what you just said. And then you said, I don't want to be a negative Nancy.
Yeah, but it's just, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be real.
You are being negative, dude. You are. Stick with your boys.
Son.
Hey, stick with your boys. Like, hey, man, this is a dude who's going to get us off the schneid. All right, bring it. And he has, according to you, he doesn't even have his best stuff. Hasn't had his best stuff. He's 8-0 in his last 8 starts. Maybe he gets his best stuff today. Maybe it's clicking for him. We're going to find out. But you know what?
Right.
We're going to do that on the other side of the break. Don't worry, folks. We have more sports conversation, more top of the morning topics. We're going to have a third party joining in. I'm fired up. It's the Chicago group. Man, it's going to be Crusaders in the house. You guys are the Chicago Crusaders. And I went to Holy Cross. We are the Crusaders. So, So we'll be back. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. Doubleheader split for the White Sox on Sunday. They dropped the opener against the Mariners 3-2, then came back in the nightcap for a 7-5 win. Seattle starter Hector Santiago, the first pitcher ejected under the new crackdown against grip-enhancing sticky stuff. He could draw a 10-game suspension. He was tossed in the 5th inning of the opening game. His glove also confiscated. Despite losing 7 of 10, the Sox still lead the American League Central by 2.5 games over Cleveland. The Cubs have lost 3 in a row and are 3 games behind the Brewers for the top spot in the American League Central. They fell Sunday at Los Angeles. The Dodgers with a 7-1 win. Clayton Kershaw with 13 strikeouts. The Brewers have won 5 straight. Sunday, a 5-0 win over the Rockies. The Pirates beat the Cardinals 7-2. Download the free Score app. Lightning fast updates so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved averaged $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings when switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2019. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
In some places, it's always rush hour, and the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars. In some places, it's always rush hour. And the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars.
Dude, I love that video. Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday, baby. It is a phenomenal day here in the Shy, and I am fired the freak up. You know what? We are going to we're going to have a Crusader reunion. Okay, we're going to bring out our guy. He's the co-host of one of the hottest shows here on SportsZone Chicago. That's What's Up, Cousin. He hosts it with his cousin Lance C. Irvin, and you can find this guy on Twitter at Jay Coyden. That's JayCoyden. Man, let's bring him out. Jason Palmer. Jason, what's up, Baba? I got Jason Phillips and Joseph Palmer.
Jason Phillips and Joseph Palmer. Sound like an iced tea.
Hey, man, I know we both got JP as the initial.
Yeah.
I guess that's throwing you off today, baby. What's going on, y'all?
How we doing? How's the weekend?
Oh, it was good, man. You know, soggy Friday and Saturday, especially Saturday. Really,
man, who are you telling? I was out there.
Really inclement weather in the Chicago area. Hope everybody is okay out there. Friday night, I went to the White Sox game. Me and my cousin Lance Urban. We went out there to watch the White Sox get destroyed. And Saturday, you go out there and watch the weather destroy the White Sox. So it was not a good weekend for our Sox, only getting 1 out of 3 from Seattle.
No, but you know what? Listen, then that's the next top of the morning topic. The White Sox yesterday, they split. They split the games that they had yesterday, and it was unfortunate. And I don't like bringing Liam Hendricks in at that juncture. I just really don't. With a closer, you got to bring him in when he's got the lead. I just don't feel. To me, I've seen too many times where they just don't have that edge. Okay, they just don't have that edge. It's a tie game. I know it's still a high leverage situation, but it's not as high leverage as when you have the lead and to give up the lead. And he gave up that homer. That's all I should. Well, dude, first of all, who the hell is that
Trammell?
Yeah, they call him Trammell, but I thought Alan Trammell. Right. And I was like, dude, this dude, and Steve Stone said it yesterday. He's like, that's kind of like Lewis Robert. Like he's 6'3", 6'4". He's put together. He had homers. I was like, Lord. And then he saved us. He saved them in the ninth with that beautiful. And I hate to say, but I mean, it's called spade a spade. That was a beautiful running catch into the left center field gap. That if that lands, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I agree, man. Seattle. They took advantage of the White Sox when the White Sox are down, and I mean down with
literally
power. But Trammell with the 2 homers, and I agree with you, Shawn, with the whole leverage situation. And when you bring the closer in, I prefer to do it with the lead. But also know what Tony is working with or what he isn't working with. He doesn't have half of his team offensively now. Mm-hmm. And his bullpen has been disappointing. I'm going to keep saying that this bullpen has not been good at all. I mean, you take the Cubs bullpen and put them on the White Sox, we're talking a whole different team. You take the White Sox starting pitching and put them on the Cubs, you're talking a whole different team. So I wish the 2 teams could share at this point. But, the White Sox, the injuries are just decimating them. And there's nothing you can do about these injuries that are happening all over Major League Baseball and all over sports. I mean, the Cubs are they've been kind of lucky they haven't suffered as many injuries as the White Sox. But if you look league-wide, fellas, these injuries are just destroying teams.
Yeah, the Cubs The Cubs just so happen they don't have as much depth as the White Sox do. You guys got like you're almost like the Marines, you know. Look, y'all got guys that coming out the grass, out the trees, out the sky. You know,
yeah,
like,
but see,
so,
the depth that we have,
loaded, bro.
The depth that we have, the guys we have depth, but those are for like 3 or 4 games, or a week, or give a guy a day off. We've seen that those guys aren't ready to be everyday players. So when although we have depth, and for a game or two they're good, okay, after that, when it's longer than that, with like Lou, dude, our top 5 outfielders are out. Top 5. You only have 3. You only got 3. You only got 3 at one time, and our top 5 are out, dude. So there goes, it digs into our depth. And then we talked about Nicky Two Strikes, and that's another situation, because that's the guy that you need in this lineup, because he's that slap hitter. He's that guy. He's the guy who he's the guy who puts the quarter in the merry-go-round and keeps people moving. He's not going to hit a home run, very many home runs. He's going to get a little dink and dunk, or maybe he'll connect one and take one to the alley, okay, to the wall every so often, and keep people moving, keep the bases moving, keep the merry-go-round going. And he's out. And not only are we missing his glove, because he's gotten so much better since the beginning of the season. Now he's starting to look like a Gold Glove second baseman. But not only are we missing that, but we're missing the offensive production that he gets in those slap hits that keeps everybody moving. Danny Mendick has been doing okay, but he's not Nicky Two Strikes.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate to see it
unfold before our eyes every freaking day.
Well, and it's the reason why our guy Southside Zoe, Matt Southside Zoe, he and I are debating about this. Is the reason why I told him, and Joseph, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this. Zoe is always looking to trade somebody or sign some free agent. He think we the Yankees or somebody, and I'm like, Zoe, you can't do that. Just let it play out, man. He's like, we need to replace Magical. Go ahead and make a trade. This is the reason why I don't want to do that. Because in this year, we're seeing that there are injuries everywhere. And you're liable to trade some people to get someone, and then you trade to get that person, and they get hurt. Or you have a situation like yesterday where Jose Abreu takes a fastball off the knee. So this is that year, if you ask me, I think you just need to stand pat, roll with what you have. If you have something that makes a lot of sense close to the trade deadline, then you go ahead and do it. But right now, you've got too many holes to fill. You can't be making all these damn trades. Just slow your roll. They're going to have to gut through this, and eventually you'll start getting some of these people back. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah, like I said, I totally agree. You guys should just weather the storm, At the end of the day, you guys will have reinforcements in August. One of those reinforcements would be Eloy Jimenez. I think he's going to be one of the first ones back. And then Lou Bob's coming back.
Well, we don't know about Lou Bob. We know Eloy's already he's doing baseball stuff in Arizona, but Lou Bob not yet.
Not yet, but he'll make a surprise, probably like Cal Schwarber did in the 2016 World Series. Y'all find him around. He's too good of a baseball player to just give up that easy. He's probably overworking himself right now, especially if he's used to taking pictures with his shirt off all the time, So he'll be back soon. Then you guys, like I said, y'all got that farm system, y'all got some guys that maybe can come up and contribute and just play a solid position, for you guys, which is what you need. You just need somebody who's consistent, who can help you guys weather the storm. And then when your big boys come back, the big boppers, then it's back to, hey, it's party time on 35th and Shields,
Yeah, but you can't say that, because even when they come back, are they gonna come back in mid-season form? Are they gonna take them a while to get going? Are they gonna come back struggling? When you go from AAA to the bigs, that's a big step. The pitching that you're facing in AAA and the pitching that you're facing in the bigs, that's a whole nother story, man. So I don't know if I don't know, and I'm going to disagree with you, Jason. I think we do need to make a trade. I do want them to get Eduardo Escobar. I know he's got an extra year on his contract. That's why I wanted Frazier. I think Frazier's got he's done at the end of the year. So with Nicky two strikes, so now Nicky gets his job back, and Frazier can go get his money elsewhere. But now, if you get Eduardo Escobar, which is what all the reports are talking about, even Bob Nightingale, our guy from USA Today, talked about that it's close. It's pretty much there. So we get him. This guy's got pop. This guy's got pop. He leads the Diamondbacks with 17 homers and 52 ribbies. That's a nice. Hey, you put him back at second base. We get Eloy Jimenez back. Okay, now we're cooking with gas a little bit, because now we're going to get a little bit of that pop that we didn't get from a Nicky two strikes. It's a different hitter, but hey, and you know how we all know how it is at Sox Park in the summer. That's a launching pad. So you bring him there, we'll take it. I'll take it.
Here's the thing, Shawn. I'm interested. I've heard the report, and obviously we know Bob has been pretty accurate about this.
Yep.
Who are they giving up? Who are they trading to get him? That's the thing that scares me. You know, are you talking about a Jake Berger? Are you talking about Ray Lopez, who's down in AAA, but who we know has also got major league stuff? You know, would you do something crazy like trade Andrew Vaughn? Because the Diamondbacks, they ain't stupid. They know you really want this dude. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a lot. And that's why, you know, I get into it with Matt. I'm like, man, you so quick to wanting to trade everybody, you know, and sign this person. What we going to do, man? We only got so many people we can trade away. Because once you start doing that, you're eating into that farm system, and eventually you got to re-sign these guys to contracts as well. So we got to be real careful with that, man. Real careful with that. I just think you ride it out, man. I think you ride it out.
I can't hear you, Shawn.
The only thing that I mean, I'm good with Escobar. We're trading for Escobar. It's just so next year, what's going to happen? You know, because you know Nicky two strikes you believe is part of the future. You know, Escobar is he's a lot older. Or do you just keep him? You know, I mean, what do you do? Because I said he's got another year on his contract. You know, but he could be a valuable trade piece in the offseason or at some point next season, because he's not part of the long-term plans for the White Sox. You know, and you know, if you got two guys, him and Nicky two strikes, I mean, you know, I think that's a good problem to have. I just think I want some, you know, I want some reinforcements. I want someone to come in with a little pop until we get our boys back. And yes, and I am concerned about Jason, just like you. Who are they giving up? I trust. I don't have any worries that Rick Hahn about Rick Hahn making these deals. We've seen Rick Hahn has been on the favorable side of just about all the trades he's made. It's a little different now because now teams know we need help.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I trust till proven otherwise. Rick Hahn has had a very, very good run as the general manager, and I have all my faith and confidence in him that he's not going to give up the farm or give up, you know, one of the key players. You know, he might give him a slew of prospects, but those are prospects that might not hit for another 2 or 3 years. At that point, it's a win for us.
Right, and then you gotta let Tony La Russa. This is when Tony La Russa can work his skill, his ability. You know, I know a lot of times they'd be like, you know, you guys don't like him, you know, because of some of the things that he does. But as I said before, and on one of the past shows, and I know you guys are eventually going to get to playoffs. That's when La Russa really shows himself. Like that's when his skills really come out. And I know you guys are weathering the storm in the regular season right now. I think you guys can remain in first place without a trade. I think you could do that. I don't think there's anybody that can like threaten you guys other than Cleveland. But even with that, you know, I don't think they have enough depth to compete with you guys. So if you weather the storm, you're not going to lose anyone. And then you get reinforcements in August. Then the show continues. You see what I mean? Everything is still intact. And I wouldn't trade if I was you. I wouldn't trade anyone. I think you guys have a nice chemistry. It's just a matter of just being patient and waiting for guys to return to the lineup.
Okay, so you're both on so it's 2-1. You Chicago Crusaders guys trying to jump on the Holy Cross Crusaders.
Oh, we were all Crusaders.
Yeah, but you're the Chicago Crusaders. I'm the Holy Cross Crusaders. Hey, let's keep it moving. The next top of the morning topic, Jose Abreu. You mentioned Jose Abreu gets hit on the left knee yesterday, and man, did we! I swear, I was cursing at everybody and their mama yesterday when that happened, man. And it wasn't intentional. You could tell it wasn't intentional. So it's just part of baseball. And unfortunately, they took X-rays. Stadiums now, all the stadiums have X-rays there. So they took X-rays. They were negative. So if you remember in our troop thread, like everybody else, is day to day. So it's just a bone bruise, a bruised knee. And the only issue that we have with that is trying to get him to stay off it so it can heal. Because Jose Abreu is a tough SOB, man, and that guy he's going to want to get back out there, especially when they're struggling. But I'll tell you what, and this will be the next top of the morning topic. Did you see Tony La Russa and the Yerminator playing around after the game, where it looked like Tony was just kind of messing with him, like kind of jabbing him and things like that?
I did not.
Okay. He came out, you know what it was, like a father, a father says, "Hey, come here, son," and it kind of slaps the son, and and I don't think he actually slapped him, but he went like he was going to and kind of flexed on him. I think that's him trying to, or their bond. Remember, he threw him under the bus, for that 3-0 swing and that home run. I think they're starting to put it past them and kind of get to that place where they're really, he did. Lewis said he actually did smack him. He might have. Tony's 75 years old, whatever, dude. He don't give a damn. But it showed some, and I've had coaches do that, smacking in the side of the head or the back of the head and things like that. And I'm okay with that. If that's how they're starting to mend their fences, because we need Mercedes, because he has not been as productive as he was in the first month. But he did come through yesterday. Thank goodness.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you throw somebody under the bus. There's going to be a drawback for that, which is why I was so upset with Tony when he did it. Because the dude was the hottest hitter in baseball when you pulled that nonsense. And now we've dealt with him for a month really struggling. And, the last, few games, he's starting to come out of it, and he's hitting the ball a lot better. We hadn't seen the home run power that he had at the beginning of the season, but you just explained why Tony shouldn't have did what he did. So, I'm glad to see that they're mending fences, because now you definitely need him. You definitely need him now. All the injuries and everything. I'll say this, though, about the Jose Abreu injury. Absolutely nothing you could do about that. But I've had a bone bruise before playing baseball. It ain't easy to come back from that, because the first few days you're in so much damn pain, from where that ball hits you, and it's going to be rough. And Jose is a tough guy. I can see them bringing him back probably to DH when he first comes back. So he also hates DHing, so he's going to want to actually play. But he needs to be real careful with this, man. Don't play around with this. You're too valuable for us. Take the time to let it fully heal before you try to come back. But that was a nasty pitch to hit him. And I swear to God, when I heard it, Joseph, I thought his knee was broken, because you could hear it through the TV when that ball hit him on his knee.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for Jose. He's been the White Sox MVP, AL MVP. He's an amazing guy, on the field and off the field. And even though he'll be day to day, but his presence will be missed in that lineup if he's gone for a period of time. Now, if something is going on with his body where he can't perform on a daily basis, and then you start thinking about making a trade, because he's like the heart and soul of that lineup. Out. If he's out for a period of time, you're gonna probably need to get some help, because you can't replace a valuable asset like Jose Abreu. And then in addition to that, with Tony La Russa and AKA Mercedes, Mr. Mercedes, there's two things that happened to Mercedes. One, La Russa, he kind of killed his confidence a little bit. And then two, the league caught up with him a little bit. So, he was a old rookie. Most guys in the minors have scouting reports on him, but in the majors, they knew about him, but they didn't know what his weaknesses were. what they knew his strengths. He can hit.
They knew about him, but they didn't know about him.
Right, exactly. So, after a few weeks, they started catching up with him, and he was swinging and stuff outside the zone, which led to the slump that he was in. But hopefully, he can continue to produce like he did yesterday, and get on a hot streak and maybe carry you guys through the month of July.
You know what? And Sydney has a good point. Get ready to see a lot of Yaz and Andrew Vaughn at first base until he returns. I'm cool with that. Zach Collins yesterday, he had a nice game. Him and Mercedes drove in all the runs, if I'm not mistaken. So, you're talking about young guys, and that's the one thing about the White Sox that's been happening. Guys, when the big boys don't. Sometimes the big boys step up. Tim, and right now Tim Anderson isn't stepping up. Tim and Yo-Yo aren't doing it, but earlier in the year they were. And when you have other guys step in to do that, that's how this team was built, and that's why this team was built this way. So Zach Collins after that game, hell yeah, put him at catcher. Leave Andrew Vaughn in left field. Put Yaz at first, okay, or Yaz at DH, whatever. But give Zach some time. Give Zach, because now you want to ride the hot hand. You want to ride, because if they can carry us for a week, who knows? We might have a Brady back, and then you know what? Then maybe Yo-Yo's back warm again, hot again, and TA7's back hot again. All you need is for these guys, these young guys, these non-superstar guys, carry you maybe for 3 to 4 days, a week, great, but 3 or 4 days, and let those other guys get back in rhythm, and then they've and that's I think what this team they can do, and that's what I'm hoping that they do.
And Shawn and Jason, I had a question for y'all. When it comes to the White Sox offense, who have you guys been most disappointed with this season?
That's a good question. For me, it's actually Yo-Yo is actually for me, because I just think he has more talent than what he has shown. I think he's got more power. I think he's got more contact. He goes into these moods sometimes for like 3 or 4 days where you can just see it on his face.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, here we go. I'm like, man, come on, man. Play the game. Just play the game. He goes into these moods. And that's the thing I want to see from him. But just be that consistent superstar that we know you can be. We know you can be that.
We've seen it.
Right. We've seen it. It's just times where you just know 3 or 4 games, he ain't going to be there, dog. And I can really tell it not so much with his offense, but when his defense started getting bad. When he started making errors and forgetting outs and stuff like that, okay, he in one of his moods right now. So I would say for me, it's Yo-Yo just because he's not as consistent as I think he can be.
You stole my thunder, Jason, but for me, it's Yo-Yo as well. And here's the thing: when people go down, we need other people to step up. This is where superstars step up. When you're low, you're a man down or men down or a lot of men down. This is where you step up, and you don't do more than you don't try to do more than you're capable, but you're more aggressive. And like I need to see Yo-Yo like we did 2 years ago when he was attacking early in the zone, early in the count, and he's taking pitches, dude. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching the game, and I'll tell my mom look, first ball fastball, watch, strike one. I'm like, aren't you sitting first ball fastball? What are you sitting? Like, what are you thinking? Like, if I were him and I was, I would be attacking first ball fastball for the next week, so that everyone who comes in said, oh, he's attacking first ball fastball, so now I got to throw him something off speed. So now you get ready for the off speed stuff. Attack. What I don't see in Yo-Yo that really bothers me, I see a stupid amount of talent, unbelievable MVP amount of talent. I don't see that dog in him. I do not see that dog in him, and that Tim Anderson dog. You know what I mean? Yep. And I don't see that, and that's what bugs me, because you put that talent, the talent that Yohan Moncada has, with some dog in him. Come on, man. That's a perennial all-star.
So what you're telling me? So what you're telling me, Shawn, is you see the Yo-Yo that you see in the video, in the music video all the time. That's what we're seeing right now.
Yes, yeah. and what did I tell you when he did that video? I'm like, you know what? I didn't like the fact that he did the video. This was going to be his breakout year, coming off after COVID, because the year before he was number 3. He was third in batting average. and he was getting on base and he was attacking. And then, now this is his year, his breakout year. And he does a video. I'm like, yeah, that shows me that your mind isn't completely on baseball. It's about babes. And you know what?
He's like the Tyson Chandler of the.
Yeah, and he needs to be focused on baseball, man. And he wasn't. And that's a problem for me because I want with someone that talented.
Yeah,
you get a little dog in him. My goodness gracious, there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide against unless you're going to start Barry Bonds and I'm like, walk him with the bases loaded. I don't care.
Right.
So, Jason Yo-Yo is my most disappointing guy as well, and that really sucks. So I love Yo-Yo. I love the video.
Yeah, I know you said you're going to wear the romper, right, Shawn? You're going to wear the romper. Like,
Ivan's supposed to help me find that shirt. And he's slacking back there. Hey, I don't care if you got 2 kids, Ivan. Who cares? I need that romper. Hey, listen, we got to take. Hey, fellas, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Joseph, what do you got coming this week?
Well, this week I'll be doing a piece, as I mentioned earlier, on Zach LaVine making the Olympic team. So that was big news for the Bulls, and the branding of the Bulls, along with possibly recruiting a free agent, hopefully.
No, possibly. His ass better be recruiting like
yeah.
You're going to have all that talent at one time together for an extended period of time. Yeah, you better get that stuff recruited.
You need to be having all of them, like, hanging around him every day.
I told him he better bring Bobby Kennedy with him. Coach, Pat Kennedy from the ball.
Right.
That was one hell of a recruiter. One hell of a recruiter. Couldn't coach his ass off, but he could recruit like a son of a gun.
Yeah, he recruited my buddy Paul McPherson from South Shore. So I remember that. Q Richardson.
Q Rich, yep.
Lance Dance. Yeah, but also, in addition to that, Thad Young, man, earning the NBA 2021 Hustle Award this year. I didn't even know that was an award, but he's been in the running for the past 9 years. And in his 14th NBA season, he won the award. And that award is for the most hustle stats, impactful plays that you don't see in the stat sheet, like diving for balls. It's a new stat the NBA been keeping since 2016. So it's the LeBron irrelevant stat of the day. No, I'm just joking. But in addition to that.
So it's for stuff that don't show up in the stat sheet that they created a stat for.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Intangibles. But and last but not least, I'll talk about the Bulls draft lottery situation and how AK is still pleased that he traded away those 2 picks along with Otto Porter Jr., Wendell Carter Jr., for Vucevic, an all-star, and he's looking to do more moves in the near future along with Mark Eversley.
Okay. What do you got tonight, Jay?
Tonight we are talking NBA playoffs a lot. Just some incredible games between Milwaukee and Atlanta. We're going to break down the NBA playoffs tonight. And we're also talking the Olympic trials that just took place over the weekend. A lot of stuff that was happening on the track. Oh, my goodness. Track and field was off the chain with some of the stuff they were doing in gymnastics. Simone Biles, even when she ain't the regular Simone Biles, still defeats everyone rather handily. So we're going to talk about the upcoming Olympics. This is a lot that was going on there. And, how many fans are going to be there, and the parents of the athlete can't come. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, man.
Man, it's going to be that sounds like a phenomenal show. The Olympic trials were crazy. I'm looking forward to the Olympics. I always am, as a kid, since I was a kid, I just always loved watching the athletes. My first recollection, I don't remember the 76 Olympics because I was 5. But I do remember the 80 Olympics, the Miracle on Ice, like that team, I remember Carl Lewis in LA, 84, and so these things, those are the things, and you see, and there's a special place because they come around only every 4 years. It's not yearly. It's not bi-yearly, or it's every 4 years, and it's something that for me I've always loved it. I've always watched it, and it just holds a special place in my heart just watching those guys, and so I'm looking forward to the Olympics coming up soon. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Jay, we will see you later tonight.
See y'all later.
And Joseph, I'm sure you'll hang around. You'll chime in here and there on the comment board. And
Yeah, I will.
I know you will, fool. I know you.
Baby Theo, I finished changing them. I'll probably miss it.
All right. Hey, so let me ask you one question before we let you go. Bobby Portis. See him do some work yesterday? Our crazy eyes, Bobby Portis.
Crazy eyes. Crazy eyes.
Oh, hey, you saw he was about to go. I forgot who he was going after. He walked up on somebody yesterday in the middle of the game, too. I forgot who he walked up on. Like, he walked up. I was like, oh, no, but crazy eyes, don't do it. Don't steal on him, dude. Don't steal on him. Hey, Bobby Portis still, he is, Milwaukee is happy to have him because that dude is an energy guy. He can give you a couple of points, give you some rebounds, and he definitely brings you some toughness.
And he will definitely smack you if you don't watch it.
Yeah, he will.
He'll walk up on you. He walked
right up to that dude. Yes, I forgot who it was yesterday on the ATL, but he just walked right up to him. Was like, "What's up?" I was like, "Oh no, here we go. Here goes Crazy Eyes."
Nobody wants to fight Crazy Eyes.
No, they don't. No, they don't. But hey,
he like the dude off of Penitentiary. Yours name half dead. You know, he just come out
he like Debo.
Want to choke Too Sweet. You remember Too Sweet?
Yeah, he like Debo from Friday. If you ask me.
Take
with
that bike.
The lazy eye tiny lister.
Give me that bike. God rest his soul. He just passed away. Right. But all right, gentlemen, we'll see you tonight, Jason. Joseph,
all right.
See you Wednesday.
All right, God bless. Peace out, fellas.
All righty. Hey, guys, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, my man, 50 grand, Kenneth Davis with the very, very white voice. I love it coming in. We're going to talk a lot of stuff. We're going to talk some basketball because I want to get his take. If he saw Bobby Portis walk up on somebody yesterday in the game, we're going to talk a little baseball. Our White Sox and another one goes down. My goodness. And the Cubs. Man, they got to hand it to them, but now they got a chance to right that wrong. They're taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. We got a lot to talk about with my guy Ken Davis. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Ken Davis on the other side of the break right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. Doubleheader split for the White Sox on Sunday. They dropped the opener against the Mariners 3-2, then came back in the nightcap for a 7-5 win. Seattle starter Hector Santiago, the first pitcher ejected under the new crackdown against grip-enhancing sticky stuff. He could draw a 10-game suspension. He was tossed in the fifth inning of the opening game. His glove also confiscated. Despite losing 7 of 10, the Sox still lead the American League Central by 2.5 games over Cleveland. The Cubs have lost 3 in a row and are 3 games behind the Brewers for the top spot in the American League Central. They fell Sunday at Los Angeles. The Dodgers with a 7-1 win. Clayton Kershaw with 13 strikeouts. The Brewers have won 5 straight. Sunday, a 5-0 win over the Rockies. The Pirates beat the Cardinals 7-2. Download the free Score app. Lightning fast updates so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved average $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings when switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2019. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
In some places, it's always rush hour, and the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars. In some places, it's always rush hour, and the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago on this House Music Monday edition. And you know what that music is. That's our man, 50 grand. He is the host of That Davis Show and the new host of the Bears Under Center podcast on NBC Sports Chicago. Our man, that's Davis himself, Ken Davis.
When's the sexy gonna come back? Like
I'm cutting the sexy down, trimming the sexy down because the sexy is too long.
Because it was too long. Listen, it better be too long. You don't want the sexy to be too short. All right. While we out here, Ty and Shawn and Summer and everything. All right, Bad Boy Summer. I don't want the name out there. Quick Ken. The sexy. Take your time with the sexy. But I understand. Listen, real quick. Real quick. Something Joseph said. The penitentiary part. I remember as a kid watching Penitentiary 3, I believe, on HBO. And this small person was banging this huge prison door. It was a wooden door because like Too Sweet was in the basement of the prison, right? It was like solitary confinement. And he's slamming the door into Too Sweet's body to toughen him up. He's like, too sweet, let alone to say, be honest, I think I may hate the Penitentiary movie franchise. But still, like, it was sad. It was a sad franchise to say the least. But when he said it, it took me back. When he said too sweet, until he said too sweet, I was like, oh yeah, Penitentiary, too sweet. It's like they had Huey P. Newton locked up in jail and he was still alive and a boxer. But going into Bobby Portis, I remember saying on my show about a week ago, when you're talking about a big that can knock down shots, like one thing you forget is Bobby Portis can hit threes, right? You give him an open look, nasty. Nobody wants to run up on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a perfect fit for Milwaukee, for what they needed. A little bit of toughness, somebody to kind of protect Giannis in a way where it's like, no, you're not necessarily going to do that. Because even though, he's a big dude, Brook Lopez isn't necessarily that type of guy where you're fearful of Brook Lopez physically or anything like that. So he kind of gives Giannis his own, and I'm not saying he's at all in his player's caliber, but his Charles Oakley in a manner, you know what I'm saying, that protective guy like that. So, I mean, me personally, I have the Bucks getting out of the East. I'll say this though, I will never put anything past Trae Young. Like, Trae Young is different. You know what I'm saying? But I have the Hawks. I basically have the Hawks and the Suns because Kawhi's not there, so I'm not believing in the Clippers. And playoff P is going to turn into pandemic P in some way or another, even though he's been balling his ass off, to say the least. And like we were talking about last week, I think even if Kawhi was back, you need to run PG like he's the point, because sometimes he can just acquiesce to Kawhi, but the ball should be in his hands because he gets more people involved than Kawhi necessarily does, even though Kawhi has been a better facilitator over the last 3 seasons.
I got a guy coming on at 11 from Arizona, from the Sports Cave out there, from Chicago, but has been there in Arizona the last 20-something years or whatever. And I want to get the pulse. Because the whole thing was Suns and 4. Dude, there are so many fights, and so it might be 5, but hey, you know what? And this is the first time that they're gonna get to the NBA Finals since '93. When Mike gave it to Charles and smacked that ass. So
hey, Charles did his due in that. Everybody else didn't show up. Charles showed up in that finals. It's just he ran against Mike or whatever, but he played his ass off in that finals.
Yeah, they needed a little more. Of his ass. Thunder Dan needed to show up a little more. KJ,
what was you gonna get out of it? Like, that was the thing with Thunder Dan. Like, there's a certain level to this or whatever. And like, even before then, he was an all-star. Like, you be playing like you would be playing Bulls Blazers and be like, damn, Marley's an all-star. Why the hell is it's like Tyrone Hill being an all-star. You're like, what the hell? I don't want to play no all-star game with Tyrone Hill. I mean, at least Dan Marley can hit threes. At least, yeah, exactly. Xavier McDaniels on the all-star team. You're like, what the hell? Right? Like, it's just, yeah, Dan Marley, the hype on Dan Marley. He was Craig Elo almost part 2.0 for Michael Jordan, to say the least. That was barbecue chicken all day long.
So the people in Arizona are fired up, man. They're fired up. To talk to me, and you know what? And I'm happy for them. I really, really am. It's one of the biggest stories that we talked about was campaign. in what a role what a resurgence. His career was dead, dude.
Resurgence mean that you was there at first.
Yeah,
This is really a debut. This is really resuscitation is better because resurgence mean that you had appeared at one point in the campaign outside of dancing with Russell Westbrook. We never really seen him do anything, outside of college coming from, because he's a small college dude too, like Dame and CJ McCollum. I don't know if he's Murray State or not, but we hadn't seen, we hadn't seen him live up to why they drafted him OKC, because they thought they were going to get a player similar to those two players that I just mentioned. But I mean, the way that we talked about this last week, we always knew he could come downhill. It was finishing at the bucket or not losing the ball. He could always turn the corner and come downhill, but his layup package was weak, and now his layup package is potent. Yeah,
it was Murray State. So he's, it just shows you how, one, he made a change. Okay. Two, when he got the opportunity, he probably realized this is my last opportunity.
He said that. He said, I'm gonna be out the league. He said, I realized that it's this or the next stop is I'm out of the NBA. And the thing is, you get out of the NBA, there's no telling if you're going to get another chance to get back into the NBA.
Nope, not with all these young kids coming in.
Hell yeah.
And he's still young. He's still young. He's like 26, 27. You know what I mean? Like literally.
I thought he was older than that. How long he been around bouncing from here to here? I thought he was at least about 28.
Is he? Let me see.
I don't know. No,
it could have been
right.
He might have been right. He might have been bounced don't forget he bounced around from team to team in the same year. So it didn't.
Yeah. I thought he was a little older, but I could definitely be wrong about that. I don't keep campaigns.
Campaign's 26 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. So you talk about supposed to be hitting your prime. There you go, 26, and he's been in the league for what? He's like a Zach kid, like 18 or 19. He's been in the league, so
he can get a check. He's young enough that if he does this another year, he can get a check.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to pay him to either be their sixth man or someone's going to be foolish and think he could be their starting point guard. Don't fall for it. Never fall for it. Banana in the tailpipe can. But somebody's like, you playing like that, you can get you a check.
I'm really disappointed in the LA Clippers. I really, really, really am. And part of it's injury. Okay, but I still don't see what I expected from them, and I expected a lot more from those guys. And I
don't trust their ass. I love them because of Kawhi, but I keep saying the thing with the LA Clippers, they always sucker you in because you like I'm through. It's like a bad relationship. I'm through with her. I'm done. But she clearly has some type of intangibles and tangibles that keep drawing you back, right?
Oh yeah.
And I say it all the time, like I don't trust them. I'm like I know that they set me up for failure. One, I never like the fact that it's you go, I go compared to just the offense is flowing. But you have to say Ty Lue has done better this year than what Doc did. And Ty Lue's adjustment game is strong. It's that the fact that they always have to end up needing the adjustment down 2-0 at the beginning of the series. I didn't expect for Paul George to step into this role that he stepped in and played like Indiana Paul George or first half, second season of OKC Paul George when he was in MVP voting. You know what I'm saying? We forget that Paul George is nice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul George is nice. It's just Paul George gets in the way sometime of Paul George. You know what I'm saying? But without Kawhi, and Kawhi had been balling. Both of them been balling, but Paul George has stepped up even more in the absence of Kawhi. But without Kawhi, you lack the closer, and that team wasn't built not to have two finishers on it. It was built that they had both of them, and Kawhi was the primary finisher. So I can't trust that. I mean, to me, it's even more on injury. You look at the fact that Serge has been out as long as Serge and what they thought they was going to get from Serge this year, you know what I'm saying, to fill that Montrezl Harrell role, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I think Ty Lue has done a really good job. I just think now, because, I mean, think about what they would be doing now if they had Kawhi. Man, if they had Kawhi, they could beat Phoenix.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, heck yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you what, and again, you could say, well, look at Luka. I don't think Devin Booker's getting off on Kawhi and PG in the fashion that Luka does, because Luka brings so much size and strength. You know what I'm saying? Like Luka is literally knocking these dudes off of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
physicality of Luka is something.
Yeah, the physical, like you're not dissing Devin Booker. Devin Booker is ill. You know what I'm saying? But he's ill in the form of a player that it's easier for them to stifle at time because he's not necessarily using his weight to get open in the fashion that Luka does. Like, I don't think if you go back to the bubble, I don't think those dudes, and they probably did from playing him in the regular season, knew just how strong Luka is. I still don't think people realize how strong Luka is. Like, that's his whole game. He doesn't come off as being a physical player, you know what I'm saying? But he's using physicality to get open all day long. You know, he's just smooth with it. But he's using physicality. To me, they would have been able to stifle at times Devin Booker and even PG, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not giving up that 15-footer to PG like everybody is. Not to say that, you know, he's going to get it regardless sometimes. But, excuse me, if Kawhi was there, I would have the Clippers probably going to the finals if Kawhi was there. And again, I still would say they always bring me back in. Right, because they do. I'm like, man, because I don't want to root for him, but I end up rooting for him because of Kawhi. I end up rooting for him. But this is Paul. I mean, it's Chris Paul's turn. Finally, it's Chris Paul's turn to make it to the finals after a long ass NBA career. And even if part of me, I want the Bucks kind of to win it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, if I'm being honest, I kind of probably want the Bucks to win it more. But I would love for Chris Paul to finally get a finals, and not to get a finals jumping on somebody's bandwagon.
And coattails, yes.
Yeah, now that he went to LA and got with LeBron, or this is one that he helped build. As far as, you know, it's even better than when Jason Kidd. Maybe it's close, but I think it's better than when Jason Kidd went back to Dallas and they beat the Heat. You know what I'm saying? Because Jason Kidd was still good when they went back to Dallas, but like, Chris Paul is still nice when it comes down to it. Yeah, he's still nice. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't the J Kidd that was like leading the fast break speed on your ass. You know what I'm saying? That was more the guy.
6'4", looking like a linebacker coming down.
Exactly. that was the more the Asen. You know, that was the Asen kid. The one that was in Dallas was the 3-point shooter that he had grown into or whatever. But if you get somebody that's has been a great point guard in a traditional role like Chris Paul, finally after years in this long career, and also we forget that what he played until he was a junior or sophomore at Wake Forest, right? It wasn't like he was a one and done at Wake Forest, I don't believe. But after all these years to finally get him one and to still be one of the main reasons, like you see how DeAndre Ayton is like, he's the best thing that ever happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a player like that, that's in that in-between phase in their career, that has the physical gifts, but doesn't necessarily know how to push himself to consistently display those gifts, needs a general like Chris Paul to, one, show him the work ethic, but also show him little tricks in the game on how he can accentuate his gifts even easier. So, like, I mean, it's dope. I love me some Phoenix, but it's I guess it's because of Giannis being a 2-time MVP, and you hate to see somebody that's a 2-time MVP and then go into NBA purgatory in a way that he would never win another MVP if he didn't make it to the finals, because people are going to be like, yeah, that's cool in the regular season. So for him, and then to think about what the Heat did to them in the bubble last year, listen, you were like, dude, you should leave. I mean, let's be honest. You was like, you should get out of there because you should leave because they're not going to be able to put the team around you. You need to go to somebody else's team or whatever. For that to happen, and for them, and at the beginning of the playoffs, it looked like it was about to happen again, to snap and show the growth. And even though none of us trust Mike Budenholzer to be able to adapt, to even see him get better somewhat in that fashion, but to see Giannis take the steps, even though he's still got more steps to take as far as his offensive package and making it easier to score, but to see Giannis do it, I mean, I love me some Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be torn in that finals between the Bucks and the Suns because I'll be happy with every team wins, but I think I still would be happier, and I would hate to see Chris Paul get to the finals and lose it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I hate to see Chris Paul lose the finals more than I would hate to see Giannis lose the finals. I'll say that, but I think I want the Bucks still in my heart of hearts to maybe win it just a tad bit more than the Suns.
I want the Suns. I don't know why I don't want the Bucks, and I don't have anything bad against the Bucks. I really don't. I don't have any animosity. I don't have any during our division.
Well, Summer Shaw's gonna want Phoenix to win. You know, that's more summery. You know, Milwaukee is in the spot in the summertime. So and proximity. I know you, Shawn. Proximity. You don't want the Bucks to win.
I want the Suns and the Bucks. I would take all I want is like a game 7, a great series, game 7, whichever, may the best team win the last game of the season. I want that.
That would be cool. I would like, and I think it's cool. I think it would be really cool. I want Phoenix. If the Bucks win, I'm cool with it. Like I said, I like the Greek Freak. I love Bobby Portis. I think it'd be awesome for him because you
love Bobby Portis more than the Greek Freak. Since you like the Greek Freak, he's like, I love Bobby Portis.
I do because of his toughness. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of talented people, and Greek's talented, but he's no dog either, and that bothers me. That bothers me. There's times where he can take over a game, and you're like, oh my God, he's phenomenal, but he don't have that dog in you. You know what I'm talking about, and like he don't have that. You did what? You scored 1 point in the last 30 seconds? No way. I want nothing, and he just locks you down, and you know what I mean? Like I need him to be, and I don't need him to be. I wish he would be a little more, I don't know, doggish. I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. I want that eye of the tiger from him all the time, because when you're 7 feet and you can hit a three every once in a while, but you can handle, you can spin, you can do that, dude. Just go up and dunk on people. Just move people around. Take a page out of Luka's book, okay, and be physical down low, okay.
Yeah,
impose your will.
Though. Luka's a different. Luka's dribble package, because I mean, this is the thing about Giannis. Giannis really isn't supposed to be able to handle that ball like that and get to the basket. I mean, to be honest with you,
at 7'12", Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's not. Like, the thing is, he's such a tweener that he's not a guy that really has like post moves or like one post move and a counter. You know what I'm saying? So if you dump it down to him on the block and somebody's right on his ass, also he doesn't have a big tookish. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
part of the thing.
Wiry. You might be that wiry country strong though.
Listen, up top he's strong, and I'm not saying down low he's weak, but he's not. He doesn't have the tookish one to really back your ass down.
He got the
thighs. Yeah, and also get supreme lift when a guy is really in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? And some of this, I'll tell you my problems with Giannis, because I think he does have some dog in him. I don't think he knows how to activate it properly. You know what I'm saying? Because usually a dude like him that gets drafted where he gets drafted doesn't develop into the type of beast that he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a beast, but they haven't taught him one strong post move and a counter. Like that, he has to have that. And also, there's no reason that he fades on his jump shot, because you're too tall. Like, and he doesn't even really fade. He just takes his legs from under him, right? It's weird how like he totally bends his legs back when, dude, you should just jump up a little and shoot. You should do what KD does. Really, you should do what Dirk does, and you shouldn't do it from the distance that they do it. You know what I'm saying? You should do it from 15 and listen, at 8 feet, he should be able to knock down any damn shot. But when he fades, he doesn't really jump. He just removes his legs and does a little fade. And it's like, dude, no. Just go up a little bit and shoot over whoever's the hell is in front of you. Like, that's where he angers me. But also, it comes from who's teaching him what to do, who's preparing him to go to the next level, or is it just him and the other Greek name brothers that he has that are necessarily training in the off season where it's like, nah, dude, you need to get in there with somebody who can really help you and advance your game, because you dope, but you can be even doper if you start to knock down 8-footers. Like we were talking about Shaq last week with the simple hook game, Scott, what he was doing, baby hooks he was doing. Giannis should have a baby hook package. You know what I'm saying? It's not
left
even a
hand,
question.
right hand, dude. You
Yeah,
talk
it should
about
have
his talent, and thank you for leading into that, because that goes along with the Ben Simmons thing. What are you doing to get better every year? Because if you added a low post game package to your game, and so now you face the basket, okay, or you want to back him in, dude. Where are all these up and unders? These Akeem and Kevin McHale, play, dude. Add that to your repertoire. Why are these guys, dude? You're not in the. This ain't your second year in the league, dude. This is what, your 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th year in the league. You need to add shit every single year to get better. Because you know what? Because the more you add, the more difficult it is to stop you. Because when they say, well, I can stop this. Oh, yeah, well, guess what? I got this. So now you got to stop this. Oh, but then I'm going to go. Then you add another thing. Well, I got three ways to get you. Dude, you look at the great ones. The great ones, they add something every year, and this part, maybe it's this generation. I don't know what it is, but why are these guys not working on their game? Just running up and down the court playing summer ball all summer is not working on your game. You need to add something. I need him to have. We talked about the baby hook. You get one dribble, a little boop, there it is, or with the left. Boop, with the left, and who's going to stop it? He's 7 feet, and he gets a little lift off. Come on, man. These are the things that bother me about this generation, where you could literally put yourself and propel yourself in a conversation with some of the best of all time, because you're building on the backs of those greats. Oh, you see what they've done. Now add that to your game now, more athletic, bigger, stronger, faster, and then add the fundamentals to the game. It's a wrap, but no one wants to do it.
So hearing you guys, and I agree with both of you. I don't see how you could deny what Kendrick Perkins was saying, as opposed to as Chris Middleton being more of the Batman to Giannis's Robin. Giannis being the Robin and Middleton being the Batman, because Giannis doesn't have that. You mentioned that dog. He's not working on his jump shot 15 feet in, because he doesn't need to be shooting jump shots like that with his body. He should be dominating, and he needs more post moves. He needs multiple moves. So like, hearing it at first, from Kendrick, because Kendrick he'll say what he wants to say, and sometimes it's like, whoa, all right, calm down, dog. And then other times he has solid points. So listening to you guys, I'm like, at first this morning I was like, man, it's kind of insane. But now that hearing you guys, very, very well explain it, it's like, what more can you give, Giannis? Because right now, if it's just you and the Suns are on fire, and you got CP working, you got Booker shooting, they got multiple a bunch of players on there that could help out. You just got you, and if one of y'all is cold, it's over.
And that's where he needs to be, where you can see. People don't get it. Everyone's so enamored with the three, but if you can continue, and if he could take over a game from down low, okay, he can take over a game that can negate all that 3-point stuff, because now you're getting people in foul trouble. Okay, now you're getting people in foul trouble, and if you get bigs in foul trouble, who has to come in? Backup bigs. And if you get backup bigs in here, and I know the 3-point is so sexy, but when you get the backup big against a Giannis, come on, man, that's literally playing against your little brother who's 6 years younger than you. You know what I mean? And it's a big difference. And they don't understand that, because the playoffs is different, bro. It's a half court game.
Yes, that's the problem.
Get your
you
ass
can't sit
down
there and get all that momentum, especially when they built that wall against him with good defensive teams. I think he does work on his game, but he can work on his game more, because to come from what he was to turn himself into a 2-time MVP says a lot about his work ethic. But that doesn't mean that he's perfected what he needs to perfect. And I'm with you on that, Shawn. Like as I said, he should have a post move and a counter move. It's not even a question that he should have that. And also, going to what you're talking about with 3-point shooting, I detest the amount of threes taken by teams that's not named Golden State, or shot from the hands of Dame, or shot from Trae Young. But you would actually open up the 3-point line more if he was in the post, because you're going to have to come down and double. And to Ivan, to your point with Kendrick Perkins, my only issue, because I agree, I would love to if Giannis had another star to be the go-between guy. That at times it's that dude's team, right? Mm-hmm. But Chris Middleton isn't consistent enough. Even though he's taken another step this year, he's not consistent enough to be Batman. Because I never thought he would turn into a real Robin, which he turned into a real Robin. Well, not, you know what? He's flirting with being a Nightwing, actually.
Okay, yeah.
He's flirting. Right. He's Chris Middleton is flirting with being a Nightwing. You know what I'm saying? This year, with just the effortlessness that he's getting his buckets, and the hard times where at times he would shrink outside of that game in last year's playoffs when Giannis fouled out and he went for like 55. Like he's been a lot more of that guy. And when we saw it last year, it was like, can you do that consistently? Because the problem was always Giannis really didn't have a true all-star next to him. You had a guy that flirts with being an all-star, but not being like, nah, I'm an all-star. It's not even a question. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't necessarily have that, and Chris Middleton has turned it in that, and also the acquisition of Drew Holiday. You know, think about what they would have been if the Bogdanovich trade didn't blow up in their face from leaking it or whatever. But you know, I think it would be better if he had a real stud perimeter guy. Like for instance, like, and this will never happen. I'm just pointing this out. Like if Giannis played with Dame Lillard, it'd be stupid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be stupid because what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like you already know you have to come in and damn near, depending on how hot Dame is, send 2 at him when he crosses the line. All right, so if you send 2 at him, there's no wall to build in front of Giannis, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be like you gave him,
or God forbid, Giannis goes off early. Now you got to sag low and you got to leave him open.
Dude, if you gave him like someone just like, for instance, if he played with, and of course he could be a head case, so this is an issue, but if he had a Kyrie, like you gave him a ill-ass point guard where that guy can go and get 30 by himself, all right, and then Giannis can just do all that Giannis stuff, but in the end of the game, we already know.
That's what they thought Eric Bledsoe was going to be.
But you know what? That Eric Bledsoe hype was so BS. That's from LeBron. All right, because that was always, he's a mini LeBron. Remember they kept saying when Eric Bledsoe was in Phoenix, he's a mini LeBron. It was like, maybe it's me. I don't see it, right? I never saw.
I thought he was a decent scorer, and he was fast, so he could get up north and south. You know, he could get up and down the court quick. But I was like, damn, like 30
he was
points,
never
like,
that.
Score 30,
yeah.
like 40, like come on.
Never, yeah, he was never that dude. And another issue, and just to go along with management, they should have never let Malcolm Brogdon go. And I'm not saying it from the point of being a Brogdon dude, even though I like how he stands up for the people. But they're a small market team, and small market teams, when you develop a player that become a rookie of the year, you have to sign him just to use him to get the said player that we're talking about, because teams now know that there's equity with that player. So you should have signed Malcolm Brogdon to trade him, because when you let him walk, you're letting a player that you can use one. Yeah, but a vital piece that a small market team needs when you need to go and get you a superstar or a star, you got to give up Malcolm Brogdons and players like that to bring the star. So that was, to me, that was the one of the biggest mistakes, because you had to pedal Brogdon. You couldn't let him just walk for nothing.
That's like the Sox when they wanted to rebuild. Who they trade? They traded Chris Sale. They traded, and at the time, Quintana was up there as well.
Adam Eaton. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know how Rick Hahn didn't go to jail for raping those dudes.
Right. But like when you
but that's what you I agree with you. Yeah.
That's why you have pieces, so that you can sit there and when it's time, unload those pieces to get younger prospects, or in basketball to bring in a stud player. You usually takes 2 to 3 players to bring in a stud, right? So the opposing team, the other team in the trade, could tell their fan base, look, this guy was rookie of the year. He's an up-and-coming point guard. Run all of that script down to them. But you need to keep players like that. For them to have small pockets at that time was an unfortunate mistake, because I believe now they would have a better players around Giannis if they had a guy like that they could have traded. Or again, if they could have just had him sitting there coming off the bench or doing whatever he was doing, but just stuff like that as a small market team, you can't do. But
that's the thing. We got to take a quick break. But that's the thing with being a general manager. You have to see the big picture always, and you have to say, okay, this guy's really good for us now. Is he going to be good for us in 5 years when or we're chasing a championship, or is he going to be that piece that we need to trade for? So if we determine that he's going to be a really good player, maybe even a great player, but he's going to be that piece that that we're going to trade for, then we need to sign him as early as possible, so his value doesn't go up to us. Because when he comes to us, he's like, okay, well, listen, I'm this, and this. I want X amount of millions. You sign him and you say, hey, listen, we see what you got. We want to give you a 4-year extension, 3-year extension. So now he's controllable. Now he's controllable for you. And then if he does outplay that contract, and you have to, you're like, hey, you know what? You're fine with we're fine with where you're at, but with as far as being maybe a second team all NBA, maybe an all-star here and there. And then, as you said, you move him with another piece to get that big piece that you need. And that falls on the GM. That's mea culpa on the GM. You have to be who's there long term, who you could possibly trade, and who you can definitely trade, who you will definitely trade, and who are your untouchables. because there's going to be one or two untouchables in an organization, and probably that's about as max as you want, one or two. But you have to understand who goes where, and if you don't, you can be in the same situation that they're in now. Listen, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we have more top of the morning topics. So not top of the morning, just me and Ken talking. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Take off your glasses, please. You look familiar. You got a record?
Yes, sir, he's got a record. He's got a great record. The Black Rooster, 13 KOs. Paco Aguilar, El Gallo Negro. He's got a great right uppercut.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. Doubleheader split for the White Sox on Sunday. They dropped the opener against the Mariners 3-2, then came back in the nightcap for a 7-5 win. Seattle starter Hector Santiago, the first pitcher ejected under the new crackdown against grip-enhancing sticky stuff. He could draw a 10-game suspension. He was tossed in the fifth inning of the opening game. His glove also confiscated. Despite losing 7 of 10, the Sox still lead the American League Central by 2.5 games over Cleveland. The Cubs have lost 3 in a row and are 3 games behind the Brewers for the top spot in the American League Central. They fell Sunday at Los Angeles. The Dodgers with a 7-1 win. Clayton Kershaw with 13 strikeouts. The Brewers have won 5 straight. Sunday, a 5-0 win over the Rockies. The Pirates beat the Cardinals 7-2. Download the free Score app. Lightning fast updates so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved averaged $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings when switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2019. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
In some places, it's always rush hour. And the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars. In some places, it's always rush hour. And the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. We're sitting here talking with our guy Ken Davis. What are we talking? NBA playoffs. Let's switch gears, man. What about our good guys? Good guys lost the series to the Mariners, and the injury toll keeps rising.
Going up. Yeah, dude. It's not. It doesn't seem like it's written in the cards. And to be honest with you, I'll tell you this. I'm getting to the point, depending on who else goes down, that I'm not antsy about trading somebody away, shooting my whole shot this season. This is the first time I'm thinking about it. I've been feeling it anyway, but I'm not feeling giving up a Garrett Crochet this year where you may not just have enough due to the facts that, dude, attrition is an MF, and I'll say this too. You may need to, and I know we a lot of this we will say is due to the fact of last year and players not being in the proper rhythm that they have, right? And I'm not saying that's not part of it, but let's not forget, man, when Herm Snyder was here, a lot of this wasn't happening. When he wasn't being an emeritus, trainer that he's quote unquote is now, you didn't have these issues. And Jerry Reinsdorf, unfortunately, his team, the basketball team, for a long time, it was suspect what the trainers were doing. It was like, well, who the hell? Who's y'all trainers? Because it's just not working properly. I mean, if you even look at it, the Bulls still really aren't a healthy team the way that they should be comparably. But when you look at all the injuries that the Sox are doing, and again, there just could be fluke injuries. But I would have to look, and again, you getting hit by a pitch in the knee, you're talking about Jose Abreu, that has nothing to do with
that's some freak.
That has nothing. Yeah, it's just some freak stuff. But looking at Lou Bob, looking at Eloy, you know what I'm saying? Now, I can't say with Nick Madrigal you know what I'm saying, and his tear that necessarily, but just some of it, I would look at my training staff to make sure, like, what is our stretching routines? You know what I'm saying? Just really getting stretched out and limber, you know what I'm saying? Because it seems like these dudes are tight. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't seem like these guys are and again, it could just be freak injuries, but it's just one of the things with me trying to be a problem solver that's running through my mind.
You know, I thought that too, but when the stat came out that they were over, almost double the amount of injuries that there were in 2019, I thought of it like this: like your body, the body is the most amazing machine that's been created. And when these guys have been playing baseball for how long? Okay, maybe 15 years. Okay, you're 25, 15 years. You've been starting as a kid. Okay, your body is as it starts, and then obviously you play more games as you get older. But your body understands when you should be doing what, when you should be training, when you should be playing, when it's spring training, when you're going but you're not going hard. Okay, and I think last year really screwed it up for everybody a lot because you missed the whole season, or you play 60 games. Okay, then you're off a little. I think that threw everything off. I would if I were the strength and conditioning coach, I would make sure that there'd be a lot more stretching because you've thrown your body off. Your clock is used to this. You've been playing baseball. I mean, imagine the guys who are 28 and you've been playing baseball for 18 years, almost over half your life. Okay. And your body's used to this, and then it stops and it changes and it's altered. And then you got to kick it back up to 100% the following year after it was jacked up that first year. If I were strength and conditioning coaches, I would have made sure that yoga was involved in our spring training routine. Especially I would have had them say, hey, listen, first of all, you guys are millionaires. Go get your ass to a yoga studio 3 times a week. Okay, because that's what's going to be important because of what I said. Your body's just not in the same rhythm that it's been. I think that's all you can do because there's, except for like the Jose Abreu stuff, I would really like to know because, and I get it. Baseball is different, but dude, for me, hold on for 1 second. So, Ivan, hold on for 1 second, buddy.
Yeah, I think Shawn has to go open the door. I think somebody's at the door.
Okay. I mean, we got to toss that smoother than that.
He told me to take him off earlier, and then he was like, he came back and he was like, I'm back. I'm like, oh, all right, we good. So anyway, but no, what it is it's unfortunate because coming into the season for the White Sox, you're looking at so much promise, and then all of a sudden it's just like as for what we do, and for Sox fans hated Tony. I was more like, man, I'm worried about are you guys going to stay healthy in the bullpen? I didn't think the meat of the lineup was going to take a big hit coming out of the gate. You know what I mean? That was one thing I thought was going to be safe. If anything was going to be protected, it was probably going to be that our suspect was probably going to be that bullpen for me, and Shawn could attest. But it right now, I agree with you, Ken. I think Sox fans are at a point where it's like, do you even want to make an attempt at this season? Do you want to keep all your assets and just say, hey, just take it on the chin?
You only get one chance.
Take it on the chin, keep whatever you can, and go after it next year.
I mean, I'll say this though. Eloy, we could say that we thought he may get hurt because there was a lot of moving parts with that boy last year. I mean, he's a big dude just from running the bases. Like Eloy, if you told me Eloy was going to get hurt this year, I'd be like, probably. Right. But everybody else, I wouldn't necessarily have thought. Like I wouldn't have, thought Madrigal would get out like that. I definitely wouldn't have thought Lubov would have went down in the fashion that he did. And listen, Tony La Russa's done a terrific job. Rick Hahn has done a terrific job. But it gets to the point where it's like, damn, it may just not be written for this team. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, and I hate to say that because I know we had what's the name on Patrick on last Friday, and he was talking about how the contracts and what's going to be the threshold of the spending limit moving forward. But it's just not written in the cards this year. Now, I would be happy to be wrong that in the dog days of September, they just go off and one of those players comes back. And it's like, damn, Ken, they should have done it. It'll be fine with me to see that happen. But looking at it right now, do you have enough pistols in the cupboard to take somebody out? You're getting down, man. The guns are fleeing. I don't know. That's a terrible analogy to say that guns are fleeing, but the guns are fleeing. All right. You're not cleaning these Glocks. These Glocks are dirty.
The Cubs are in the same spot, and it's weird that both teams are, because for the Cubs, I didn't think they was going to be this good. But for the White Sox, it's just weird that how both teams are kind of in the same spot now. They went through these. They're going through early in the season. They're going through these like peaks and valleys, right out of the gate. And I feel like both teams right now are in a position where, like, man, should we even pack up the season? Like, I don't like we were mentioning earlier, Shawn. If the Cubs get swept or if they lose a series, they still have something to contemplate, because it's like now you're going to be quite a few games back. Whole games back, about 5 games back if they lose a set. But
or if they lose the series, 5 if they 6 if they get swept. 6 if they get
okay, so 6 if they get swept. So like it's go time right now. Like you're going to find out who both teams are in these next coming weeks.
And listen, I'm not even with Sox at 3 out of 7, 3 out of 10 these last games. I think I looked. The Cubs are like 3 out of 9. I'm not even getting on their records recently because it's baseball. And these teams have been hot, and usually hot teams go through struggles, but it gets to the point of, do you have enough weapons? You know what I'm saying? There's only going to be so many Lambs and so many Hamiltons that you can pop into your lineup that can consistently help you. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about reaching to the tippity top of the World Series, or at least the AL Championship Series, and that's just, again, it's my concern. I want the best for my team. I want the best for the Cubs. You know what I'm saying? But it's not necessarily the records. It's just attrition is really starting to sit in, particularly with the Sox, where it's just like, dude, how many guys can you lose? And you look at a TA isn't even being TA. You know what I'm saying right now? So it's just, man. And again, I would hate to give up something that's for the future of a team that we know sooner or later is going to tell us they don't have enough money, right? And when you still got these kids on these young contracts, give up something to sit there and get to the playoffs and maybe get into the second round and get knocked out when you don't have Eloy, you don't have Lubop, you don't have Nick Magical. Like that, just running off those names. And we also don't know, it could be another name on that list by the time that we could get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Or one of those players could be back. Well, we know it won't be Nick Magical, probably. You know what I'm saying? So, but still, it's one of those things where it just crosses my mind from time to time.
I'm okay with trading for Escobar. It does give us a little bit of leverage for next year with Nicky Two Strikes. If something doesn't go well and his rehab stint gets if he has a setback, like Adam Engel had a setback this year, coming out of spring training. We thought he was going to be here a lot sooner. He's got one more year on his contract. You may be able to ride with him, but the biggest thing is, what are you giving up? What are you giving up? And I'm okay to give away a slew of guys in the minors, but not anything we have up here. Not anything we have going back and forth. It's got to be minor league players. It's got to be, we'll give you 3 players, 4 players, but it's not going.
You can't have Cespedes. You can't have Cespedes. Except you can have Burger all you want, though. You want Burger? Yeah. I got Burger.
Dude, yeah, we got a burger for you. We got a nice big burger for you.
What if somebody asked for Eloy? I'm being 100% real, being 100%.
Maybe you didn't know what I said. I said nobody on the big roster. Nobody on the big roster is moving, and nobody who's going back and forth. So I want guys who are there, and you can take 4.
You may be able to get Vaughn out of me.
Yeah. Okay.
You may be able to get Vaughn out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like it.
So you guys, I'm just saying, because like Eloy still has that promise. Like he's probably the biggest chip for me.
I feel about Eloy though. I feel like you may need to get out of that one before you find out the truth about that one.
That's what I'm saying, man. I said this months ago because Eloy to me, yeah, he has a promise, and maybe he does become something. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But right now, Eloy hasn't helped you because he's been off the field. You know what I'm saying? And what if I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but to me, Eloy would be available as well. Eloy, Vaughn, all those guys. He's trying to win the World Series. I think you have the tools for it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. Not Eloy. I wouldn't take Eloy.
You would have to give me back a stud though if I gave you Eloy.
Yeah,
it's like a stud.
But it's going to be a rental, and that's what I'm saying. Like if it's a rental, Like Escobar's good, but I'm not giving up.
But listen, if you're going to trade away, Eloy has a long-term deal. If I'm trading Eloy, you better sign the dude that you're bringing over here. Now, you find out before you make the trade, is he open to staying here long-term and signing the contract? If he's a man of his word, he'll sign the contract. But you just emptied out the money that you had to pay Eloy for the next 7 years.
Yep.
So you can take that money that was allocated to him and you can put it on the next dude. But you would have to give me, dude, it would have to be a really nice dude now that he's reached his potential. Because Eloy, the problem with Eloy is, will he reach his ceiling? You know what I'm saying?
I got a question. Will San Diego retrade us back for Tatis Jr.?
No, do it. Don't bring his name up. on that amount. On that, he whose name should never be spoken was just mentioned. So I got to bail.
All right, man.
Listen, I love him. I love the player, but I love to see him succeed because he's just so nice. But to think that they traded him from James Shield, and that season, I told DeMaz on our show when we were doing Dean Davis, I was like, dude, the White Sox are smoking mirrors. He's like, no, they need to go for it. And it's like, they need to rebuild. And you sat there and traded away the best prospect in baseball. The only guy outside of Mike Trout who you could say is the best player in baseball. You gave him away. It just speaks to their scouting. It's just that was just the dumbest thing ever to say. I never thought I would see a Lou Brock trade in my life, and my team did a Lou Brock trade. I'm out.
Later. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, I agree with him. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because you have we don't know about Lou Bob. We don't know about him. Eloy's coming back. What's he going to be when he comes back? I know he's taking part in baseball activities, but is he? And here's my biggest concern with Eloy is that he tries to hit 4, 5, and 6 run homers when he comes back. And don't try and make up for lost time because you can't. Time's gone. Play your best now. And if he can do that, I'm good with it. Because if he comes out, and that's the issue that I see with him, just seeing his personality and what I've seen I've coached plenty of players like that. When they come back, they want to do too much. They want to play the whole season in half the season's time. You can't do that. Live in the moment, play in the moment, worry about this pitch in this at bat. Don't worry about the last at bat. Don't worry about the next at bat. Don't worry about the rest of the series. This pitch in this at bat is what you should be focused on. And I don't know if Eloy is going to be that focused when he comes back, and that could be an issue because that could prolong, or that could start a slump and prolong a slump because he's trying to do more than necessary.
And it's just weird because it's like we said, we all agree on his potential. You know what I mean. And the only reason why I mentioned him in the trade is because it's like, if you're looking at everybody else, Ken mentioned Cespedes. We're talking about everybody coming up. Like you guys have all these names, all these prospects. I'm like, well, you have your DH of the future, but right now you keep marching them out into the outfield. So I think that needs to be addressed now. It's like you need to put him in that DH role and say, hey man, focus on hitting. Like let's keep you healthy all year so you can hit 40 home runs. You know what I mean? Like, or else if you're gonna try to keep marching him out as an outfielder, he's not gonna help you out as an outfielder, dude. He's not. He's gonna get. I would predict that he'd get hurt again. You know what I mean? Whether it be this season or next season, he'd end up finding a way to get hurt again. And I feel like the time is now for him. Just have him focus on hitting bombs, man. He could do it. Keep him healthy, keep him happy, and all will be well. But if you don't want to do that and you really want him to be your everyday left fielder, I think you're going to run into some problems.
He's got to work, and here's where we talk about putting in work, and it's not just basketball, it's not just football. Here it's baseball. We have to work with a speed coach, okay? Because with a speed coach, there's going to be a lot of footwork involved, okay? And with him, the one thing that we've seen is like his hips aren't very flexible, okay? I mean, when he gets going running, okay, he moves really well for a big guy. He moves really well, but it's a certain his agility is what I'm concerned with. And if you can get him more agility and more limber, we're going to save a lot of injuries with him. So whether you have to play him in left field or he's running the bases or whatever, the likelihood of him getting hurt is going to be decreased because of his flexibility. So this is what I talk about when I say you need to do something, add something to your game every year. So for him, he's got to work on footwork. He's got to work on foot speed. He's got to work on being smoother. He's never going to be smooth. Okay, he's never going to be there. He's never going to be smooth like Tim Anderson or Yo-Yo. He's not. But you can be much smoother than you are now, and that's what he's got to work on. And that he's got to hit a speed coach, okay, to work footwork drills, to work straight line sprinting, to work agility. All these things are going to come into play for you, playing the outfield or just DHing, okay? Because if you're going to be the regular DH, cool, but there may be a situation where they're going to ask you to go play left field again. There might be. Okay, and here we're not worried about him as much if he does that, if he comes back with, a little lighter on his feet.
Yeah, okay, a different body size. It's similar to what we talked about with like Zion or some of the larger, thicker athletes that look like they could limber up, stretch out, maybe lose a few pounds and really lean out so they could benefit their frame a little bit more. But I just mentioned it because we see Eloy get hurt a bunch, right? We see Eloy get hurt on the bags. We see Eloy get hurt on the outfield. We see Eloy get hurt. Have we seen him get hurt at the plate yet? I don't know. But regardless, I think you need to protect it. Like we talked about before, we need to protect him from him, DH him. The rest, even if it's the rest of the season, I'd say DH him, and just keep him healthy. Keep him on the field. Keep him playing in a White Sox uniform, at all costs. And that the best, in my opinion, the best way to do that is to put him at DH.
Does he need to be in the field, though, is the question. I think I agree with you. Keep him in the field. I agree with you to limit that. And put it this way. When he comes back, limit his time in the field. And if he can hit, because remember, Frank Thomas didn't like hitting.
It'll be like it'll be a hard platoon. It'll be Andrew Vaughn, and maybe you get a day out there, Eloy.
Get 1 day a week. Because you got Vaughn, you got Lamb. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can see it. And this will also help him transition to that DH role. Okay. Because you're only playing once a week. Why? Because we don't want to, put you out there when you're still a detriment to yourself. Okay. Go get that speed training, go get your footwork drills in. And I'm telling you, if you put him, and this is what I don't understand, like how you see, you see that some people who have the best footwork are running backs and wide receivers. Why don't you go train with them to get balance, to get, you know what I mean? And running backs, you're talking about stopping on a dime, stopping and starting and spinning and all these things, the agility that running backs have to have. This would all benefit him. But he hasn't done, to this point, he hasn't done it. I understand you want to be a home run hitter and you want this, but you don't have to be as big as you are. You can be strong. Hell, if Jose Altuve can hit homers the way he does, and he's fucking 5'4", okay, it shouldn't be that much of an issue for you hitting homers either at your size.
I agree.
So, hey, listen, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to go back and talk a little NBA action with my man, 50 Grand. He is out in Arizona. He's on the Sports Cave. We're going to talk the Phoenix Suns. Suns in 5? We're going to find out from my man, PLR himself, Paul Richardson, on the other side of the break. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. Doubleheader split for the White Sox on Sunday. They dropped the opener against the Mariners 3-2, then came back in the nightcap for a 7-5 win. Seattle starter Hector Santiago, the first pitcher ejected under the new crackdown against grip-enhancing sticky stuff. He could draw a 10-game suspension. He was tossed in the 5th inning of the opening game. His glove also confiscated. Despite losing 7 of 10, the Sox still lead the American League Central by 2.5 games over Cleveland. The Cubs have lost 3 in a row and are 3 games behind the Brewers for the top spot in the American League Central. They fell Sunday at Los Angeles. The Dodgers with a 7-1 win. Clayton Kershaw with 13 strikeouts. The Brewers have won 5 straight. Sunday, a 5-0 win over the Rockies. The Pirates beat the Cardinals 7-2. Download the free Score app. Lightning fast updates so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved averaged $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings when switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2019. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
In some places, it's always rush hour. And the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars. In some places, it's always rush hour. And the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. We just got done with our guy Ken Davis from that Davis show and the host of the Under Center podcast from NBC Sports Chicago covering the Bears. We talked a lot. I love it when we have Ken on because we talk all sports. And you know what? But my next guest, we're going to go strictly NBA. He's out there in the land of the sun, the desert, and love how we met. It was a great story how we met 3 years ago. It's crazy. And we've been friends ever since. He's from Chicago, and he's at the sportscave.com out there in Arizona. You can find him on Twitter at PLR on sports. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Paul Richardson. Paul, what's up, Papa? How are you?
What's up, my brother? How you feeling? You see, I'm representing always, right?
I see the Hawks hat. I see our visor. Excuse me. I see it. Yeah, you don't wear hats in Arizona. It's too high. You got to wear the visors.
You got to. And when you have dreadlocks, hats don't help.
This is true. Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, we had like an 8.5. Hey, how you doing out there? I know it's hot as hell out there in Arizona, man. 115, 112. Man.
It's ridiculous. But you know what? You know what it means, right? Shorts in January. This is the price you pay for shorts in January.
I think I would pay that price too.
So we're good. We're good. We're hot out here, but it's not just the heat. It's the basketball team. They have everybody out here sizzling right now.
Dude, they are on fire. Devin Booker is having his breakout season where he's really putting himself on the map, because that's where you do it. Don't give me any bullshit about the regular season. I scored this, I had that, I had this many points, I had a triple-double, and that's fine and dandy. What do you do in the playoffs? That's where you make your legacy. That's where you make your mark, and that's where the stories and the folklore come when you start doing stuff in the playoffs. And right now, you guys are on pace. You're one win away to game 5 tonight, okay, against the team out in L.A., the Clips. They win tonight. They're going back to the finals for the first time since '93, when some guy named Michael Jeffrey Jordan and John Paxson has something to say about their trip to the finals.
That was a great series when you think back on it. That was an incredible series. The Bulls won every game in Phoenix. A lot of people don't remember that, but the Bulls had a shot to close it out in Chicago, and they didn't.
Yep.
But they never lost. They took a 2-0 lead, went to Chicago, lost 2 out of 3, but came back and closed the deal in Game 6. But here's what I'll say. I'm thinking back to your first comment about Devin and what he did in the regular season. I'm going to give Devin a pass, and here's why. I don't like kicking dirt on old GMs. I don't, because the old GM drafted Devin. But then he also drafted a whole bunch of guys that aren't in the league either. And they were real cheap with coaches. They only hire coaches that never coached before. And so now you get a new GM. He starts drafting guys that played 3-4 years. Devin's been working on the skill. And a lot of guys in Devin's position would have asked to be traded by now. Because when you've accomplished, even though he hadn't been in the playoffs, part of the reason he wasn't in the playoffs is because of some of the people that they surrounded him with and the coaches they surrounded him with. They went out, got a real GM, got a real coach, an adult, and then you bring in, it started last year, you bring in Ricky Rubio, who was able to get people in certain places, get defined roles, get everyone set, and we all saw what they did in the bubble when they went 8-0 and just missed the playoffs. You get Chris Paul, And now you just boom. Aiden matures, Mikal Bridges matures, Cam Johnson matures, and it's all the storm is hitting at the correct time. So Devin's I look at it like this. Devin's first appearance in the playoffs, a lot of guys choke up. He didn't. He put the Lakers out, scored 47 in the closeout game, came out live against Denver, and came out live against the Clippers. So I think Devin is one of those up and coming youngs that's going to make us forget, or not forget, but not be like, oh, why isn't this guy in the playoffs this year? I think he's one of those new young guns.
You know, you brought up Chris Paul, and Chris Paul, you know, I have a lot of respect for him. I'm happy that he's one game away from the finals. I really would like to see him get to the finals. I'd love to see him win it. Talk to me on how big of an acquisition he was this year. You know, Ayton credited him, and you know Devin Booker has really benefited from having this guy, to talk to every day at practice and games. Talk to me about what he's meant to that Phoenix Suns team, because without him, I think you could agree you're not one game away from the NBA Finals if he's not on the team this year.
If Chris Paul isn't on the team, I think we're an 8 seed. That's the difference I think he made on his team. When he first came in, I remember doing a show, and the first thing we said was, he's going to turn that shoe sideways. He's going to put it right on DeAndre Ayton's ass, and that you'll see a different DeAndre Ayton. And as the season progressed, you saw a different DeAndre Ayton. But what Chris Paul brought was confidence. It's a lot different to say, wow, I wonder what it's going to be like if we get there, versus a guy I know what it's like because he's been there. Also, a big difference with Chris Paul in Phoenix versus some other stops. Phoenix is young, so they're hungry for information.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you got an old guy playing with old guys don't want to hear old guys chirping. They're like, oh, why are we listening to him? We're the same age. We've done the same thing. Young guys, they're a sponge. They want all the information. What Chris has done is get everyone comfortable in a position they need to be in. Now, when I say comfortable, I don't mean they're comfortable, they're loose. It's you got to do your job, but if you do this, we'll do this. If you do this, we can get here. And just bringing him on with the maturity and his knowledge and his want to be here. And that's a big deal. He wanted to come here. And so you put all that together, and now you're a game away. Look, miss me on the Lakers injuries. Anthony Davis been hurt since he was in high school. Miss me on Kawhi Leonard. Look, Suns played the first 2 games without their guy too. This team is a complete team. And the one thing I love about the Suns and what Chris Paul has done is when you look around the NBA, Shawn, they always talk about positionless basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Suns are not positionless basketball. Chris Paul has everyone in a position, along with Monty as well. But you have a point guard, you have a 2 guard, you have a center that likes playing center. He likes clogging up the middle, blocking shots and rim running. He's not trying to jack up 3-pointers all game. He's where we need him. And he's getting lob alley oops like crazy from Chris. That's an incentive to rim run and get to the rim. And you got Mikal Bridges, 3-and-D. You got Jay Crowder taking the toughest player every game. Everyone has a role. And sometimes in sports, we get so much into the analytics and the blah, 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 and all this bull crap. Roles win games because when you know what you're expected to do, it makes your job a whole lot easier. And Chris does that for this team.
Guys, we're talking with Paul Richardson from the Sports Cave out in Phoenix, Arizona, talking a little NBA basketball playoffs right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. You couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think I agree with you 100%. When you have a role, and I think that's what, he's basically the coach on the court. And he's probably old enough to be some of their dads. And this guy, with all his experience, if you tell a guy, this is what I need you to do. I just need you to do this and this. That's it. I don't care what else happens. I don't care if shit hits the fan and the whole thing burns down. I just need you to rebound and block shots. Okay. Now players can go and they can go and do their job. He doesn't have to worry. No, I have to take a jumper. No, I got to get the ball out of my hands because they didn't ask me to shoot the ball and score. They asked me to do this and this. And when you give people defined roles, it's so much easier. And then they can get comfortable with it. They can make it their own, and then they become so valuable because there's no one else, or there's no one else who can do that the way they can. And now you feel part of a team. Now you feel like, wow, I'm a big part. I'm an integral part. I'm an integral part. Well, all of us are integral parts because we're all doing our jobs. And as a KG veteran that Chris Paul is, it looks like he's got them believing in themselves. It looks like he's got them believing and understanding their roles. And it's led them to one game away from the NBA Finals. Talk to me a little bit about. Go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to say, Shawn, you played football for a long time, and you understand nothing makes you feel better than knowing that you're contributing in the way you're asked to contribute. And that's what they're doing. You know what's expected of you. And that's what every guy on this team does from 1 to 15. They know what's expected and they do their job.
You know what? I couldn't agree more. And I love it. I love it. I guess, we were talking earlier, and I don't have a dog in the fight. Phoenix or Milwaukee, I don't think Atlanta's coming out of there. I think, especially with the twisted ankle, we'll talk about that in a minute. But if it's Milwaukee and Phoenix, I kind of want Phoenix, and not because I don't like the Greek Freak, or I don't like the Bucks, or they're in Wisconsin like the Packers are, and I hate the Packers. Has nothing to do with it. Like I just want I like the Suns. I don't know why I like the Suns. And part of it's Chris Paul. Part of it is Chris Paul and him hoping he gets a ring for his outstanding career. Part of it is I don't know. I just honestly like the Suns, and there's really nothing for me to like about the Suns because I live in Chicago. I mean, I've been to Arizona many times, but Milwaukee's closer. But I hope they can win it, and I'd love to see the Greek Freak get a ring. Don't get me wrong. So if he wins it, I'm cool. But if Arizona wins it, I'm a little happier because the Greek Freak, you got more time. Chris Paul doesn't have much time left.
Okay, so I've said this from the beginning, and I always end my sentence with "prove me wrong." I said this about Ben Simmons in Philadelphia. If your second best player can't shoot, that's a problem. You got to be able to shoot the ball. It's this crazy thing in basketball. It's called putting the ball in the hoop. You can't put the ball in the hoop. No matter how good you play defense, you can't win. Milwaukee, when they said big three, I had a problem with that because they're not a big three. You have a number one who can do a lot of things in the paint, and that's what he did against Atlanta last night. If you look at the shot chart, everything was in the paint. He hit 1 3, missed 1 3, everything else in the paint. And the reason he's living in the paint now is because he can't shoot. He works at his craft. He takes the shots, which tells you he's working at his craft, unlike Ben Simmons, who just won't even try. So I give Freak credit for that. But it's not a big three when the other two guys aren't Hall of Famers. I love Chris Middleton. He's not a Hall of Famer. Love Drew Holiday. He's not a Hall of Famer. What that tells me is you have on and off all-stars, which means some years they're exceptional, some years they're not exceptional. And if you look at games, last night Chris Middleton had a great game. Drew Holiday really didn't. Had good assist numbers, but offensively didn't have a good game. 2 games before, roles reversed. So they keep going. They can't. It's like Friday. They can't get a couple things that match. One of them has a good one. The other one doesn't. The thing with Phoenix is there's certain things you can count on. You know what Chris Paul is going to bring, and you have a closer in him. You know what Devin Booker is going to bring. You have a closer in him. And now you have an emerging DeAndre Ayton. So now you have 3 people you can count on every night. Milwaukee has a person they can count on if he stays in the paint. And then you got to figure out which one of these other guys is going to be on. I like those chances. I do, because if Milwaukee needs one shot, they've got to go to Chris Middleton. I have a choice. And Phoenix, they need one shot. It could be Devin. It could be Chris. Now you have to defend more, and you have to defend better. As good as Milwaukee is, I just think Phoenix is a more complete team. And I don't want to get ahead of myself because teams have blown 3-1 leads. But from this vantage point sitting here, I think it will be Phoenix and it will be Milwaukee. And if those two teams meet, I like the chances Phoenix has.
I do too. I really like I like the youth that they have. I like they're playing from here, and this is from 10,000 feet above the earth because I'm all the way over here. I see the eye of the tiger in them. I see them grinding to get. You know what I mean? When you're a challenger, you know there's a look in your eye when you're trying to get the title. Okay, I mean, we all know the Rocky III story, and I see that in Phoenix. I see it. And my issue with Milwaukee is this: I don't think Giannis is a dog. I think he's supremely talented to the point where he's been able to take over games due to his talent. But I don't see him as a dude like, oh shit, you know where the ball's going to him. Yesterday he had a great game. Okay, he had a couple spins. My issue with him is why did he even come out of anywhere 10 feet outside? Outside of 10 feet. Get your ass in there. Work on a baby hook. Work on an up and under. To me, it bugs me when you have guys that talented. See, there's things that everyone wants to be the cool kid on a part of the cool club and hit threes. You know what? If you're in there you're dominating on down low and you're getting people in foul trouble, guess what? That takes care of the threes. Okay, because you're going to get big people in trouble, and then if you get big guys in trouble, guess who comes in? Backup big guys, and they can't. If you're starter, big guys can't help them. What are your backups going to do? Now you got to sink in. Now the guards got to sink in. Who's got to sink in? Those 3-point shooters, and now you get them in foul trouble. And guess what? And you wear them down. Why I haven't seen him? And now mind you, Greek Freak's been in the league 6 years, 8 years, whatever. I don't think it's 8, but
yeah, he's
been here a long time. Why do we not see that in his arsenal? Why do I not see that in his repertoire where people can? There's no way they can stop you. It really bugs me, Paul. It really, really does when I see guys who don't add to their game on a consistent basis. You work on something and just add it into your repertoire, and then you work on something next year. So when people try to do this and then when they try and stop that, then you break out with something new. It's all about adjustments. When they adjust to you, you make another adjustment. Now they have to make another adjustment, and then now you have 5 different things. You think about Jordan, think about Magic, think about Larry, think about Kobe, think about Iverson. There were so many different ways they could score on you, and you couldn't stop one of them. If you stop one of them, guess what? There's 4 other ones. Talk to me about why you think there's certain people in this, especially people like the Greek Freak, haven't added a little baby hook or a little sky hook, a little up and under to his game, which would make him damn near unstoppable.
You make some great points. So here's a couple things with Freak. Freak actually, from everything I've been told, he really does work on his shot. I think there's some guys that just can't shoot. And I'll relate this to baseball. There's some guys in the batting cages every day. They come out, they still hit 250. They just can't hit. No matter what they do, they may be great defenders and they may put in all the work, do it all. They just can't hit the ball. So I think that happens in basketball too. There are guys that just can't shoot. I also think the big problem is a lot of folks in the go back to analytics. They talk about, well, you got to be able to shoot the 3. You got to be able to shoot the 3.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have him spending a whole offseason working on a 3. When I grew up, and I coach, I coached 10U basketball, 12U basketball, and I believe in the old way, the way I learned. You learn how to shoot out. You don't learn how to shoot in. So you start shooting and you build your range up. That's why guys like Kobe, like Michael, because back then the 3-pointer wasn't sexy. You made buckets. So you got buckets. So they took their game out. Guys now try to bring their games in. It is a lot easier to learn going out than it is in. The reason he hasn't developed a jump hooks aren't sexy to practice. Quick turnaround mid-rangers, they're not sexy to practice. So I think a lot of that goes into it. And then analytically, you got a lot of people in your ear saying, why are you working on a jump hook when you need to be out here shooting 3s? And I think a lot of guys, their game falls apart. If you look at the best shooters in the NBA, the Devin Bookers, Chris Middletons, the Steph Currys, the Kevin Durants, the Kyrie Irvings, they're all mid-range shooters that can shoot a 3. They're not 3-point shooters that can shoot a mid-range. So it's backwards when we start talking about guys in development that we automatically the analytic nerds got to run out there. You got to go do this. No. Basketball is still the same game. Look at Chris Paul. He shoots a rare three, but he's controlled 5 playoff games in the fourth quarter by getting to the elbow and eating your ass up. And for whatever reason, I'm hoping there are young guys out there now saying, wow, I can shoot from range. I can hit a shot from inside half court, but I can't shoot anything else. Watch and learn these guys. But the specific answer to your question is because analytically they had this guy out shooting threes when he should have been working on his mid-range game, when he should have been working on a jump hook. But analytically, the guys that never played, the guys that graduated from Harvard with a 5.0 and they had to think of a way to get in the game. So they come up with numbers and say, hey, 3 is more than 2. And all these jerks go, oh, he's right. 3 is more than 2. Yeah, but 2 2s is more than 1 3. So we're at a crossroads. And I think if Giannis does that, honestly, if Giannis just had a mid-range, he doesn't need a 3. If he had a mid-range, he'd be the most unstoppable player in the game. But when you talk about Pitbull, no. There are 2 Pitbulls left in this tournament right now. And I call it a tournament. Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Those are the 2 Pitbulls left in this tournament. I love Paul George. He's not a Pitbull. Love Giannis. Not a Pitbull.
Nope.
There's no one. Trae Young, I'm going to give him a little bit, but he's not quite there yet. But I love the fact that he put on that villain hat. Because if you're putting on villain hats at 21, you got some dog in you. He's buying, he may not be buying full grown Alpo, but he buying baby Alpo somewhere at Jules.
and it is Jules. For all you who aren't from Chicago, you won't get that joke. If you're from Chicago, you definitely got that joke. Guys, we're joined by PLR Paul Richardson from the Cave Show on the Sports Cave out in Phoenix, Arizona, talking NBA playoffs right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. What do they got to do? What do they got to do to win tonight? It's Game 5. You don't want to extend it because the longer you go, the more you give the Clippers life. And I know they're going to be without the claw, and that's going to make things easier, or maybe it makes it harder. Who knows? Maybe other guys step up in his absence. We don't know. But what do they have to do to end it tonight? Send the Clippers back to LA and the Phoenix back to the finals for the first time since '93.
Superback, I'm big on keeping things simple. I think you have to come out and you got to punch them first. Then they're playing an elimination game. So balls to the wall for the Clippers. Mm-hmm. There's no holding back now. It's all going in. So they're going to hit you with a punch. I believe if the Suns come out, kick them in the neck, take that punch that they're going to throw back, and then hit them in the neck again, I think the Clippers are done. And here's why I say that. Because their leader right now is Paul George. And again, he is one of my favorite players in the NBA. But sometimes when that pressure gets a little tight, I worry about him. And if I'm not mistaken, he said something about, look, no matter what, I have a good life. When players start talking, I have a good life no matter what. Look, they put that blood in the water now. It's time for the sharks to come eat. Because players stick to one thing. True dogs stick to one thing. Hey, you're down 3-1. What do you think? Hey, I think the series is over. I think we're going to go back to Phoenix. We're going to take care of business, get back here, and put the pressure on them. I've got a good life. No, man, I don't want to hear that nonsense. I don't want to hear that. Yeah, so I think that's the key. Like I said, I know it sounds simple, but I think if the Suns come out, establish DeAndre down low, get Devin going, because he's had a couple sneakers the last 2 games. I think a lot of it has to do with the broken nose, although I wouldn't take that mask off, not with Patrick Beverley around, not with his dirty-ass headbutting people. I leave that mask on. But get him going, get DeAndre going, hit him in the face. When they come back, hit him in the face again, and I think you got this series wrapped up. And that's simple. It sounds simple, but I think basketball is made too complicated. And it's really not complicated. We're not like baseball where we got to scheme hit and runs and shift and make sure you pitch on the outside so they can induce a ground ball. It's not football where you're running schemes or you're 3-4, you're 4-3, zone blitz. No, it's set a pick and roll the correct way, come off the pick the correct way, hit shots or miss shots. It's really that simple. And I think if the Suns just do what they do, don't treat it like it's more than what it is, play their brand of basketball, get the guys off you need to get off, let Jay Crowder play defense the way he does. And I tell you something, if Jay Crowder hits 3 threes or more, super bag, the game's over. Because then once he's hitting threes, who are you going to guard? I feel like Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call? Nobody calls for help. That's all you can do. So if Jay Crowder hits 3 threes, I will call him the linchpin for the game tonight. He's on. It's not even a close game.
Talk to me about Monty Williams. He's still a I don't want to say young cat. He's definitely, but he's a younger coach. Talk to me about him and what he's done to this team in this franchise.
Stability. Monty has brought stability. So in 2 years, in talking to Monty and before pre-pandemic, when you could stick 8 microphones in his face, after pandemic, when there's a bunch of players on media on Zoom, Monty is, you wouldn't know if the Suns won or lost. There's always a level of calm. So I'm going to go back game 17, 18 of the season. The Suns blow a lead, play terribly, and Monty comes to the press conference. First time we've all seen Monty hot. Monty says consistency. Until this team learns to play with consistency, this is what will happen tonight. Next Zoom question comes up. Monty says, until they play with consistency, this is what's going to happen. Next person puts their hand. Now, my hand is up. Next person puts their hand up. They call on him. They're like, that's okay, coach. We're good. I lower my hand because he says, every answer I give will be until they play with consistency. This is what will happen. He's never done that again. Never got upset again. And because he's so consistent with the message and the repetition and what they need, it's almost like that parent that never gets mad. And then when they get mad, you're like, oh shit, damn, I'm in trouble now. Yeah. So I done did it now. So they responded. Mind you, this team went from 9-8 all the way to the second best record in the NBA. So he gets his players to respond. The other thing he does is he trusts his players. He has said in numerous press conferences, if it's something you work on in practice and it's something you're comfortable with doing and you trust it in the game, I trust you. There's a lot of coaches don't do that. No. You do what you're told to do. But if you're comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with you. Ejuan Moore didn't play a game. I think I was in high school the last time Suns put him in the game. But the last game of the season, or when Chris Paul goes out in the playoffs, his name is called. Ejuan Moore has been in the league 10 years. He could easily be a guy sitting on a bench pouting, saying, I've been in this league 10 years. Why are they playing campaign ahead of me? What's going on? When his number was called, Ejuan Moore took that jersey or took that warm-up off, got in there and gave it all he got. Because when you play for Monty Williams, someone who's not lying to you, someone who's straight with you, someone who, when he came to the Suns, he was told, look, they're going to be nice. You get DNPs. There may be a stretch where you play 4 games. There may be a stretch where you don't play for 20. But if you stay ready when the time comes, we're going to need you. He didn't ask to be traded. He didn't ask to be released. He signed the contract and came in and is happy to be part of the team. That's not by coincidence. That's coaching. That's stability. That's something the Phoenix Suns have not had. And I'll give you a real quick story. There's a player that played for the Suns. I'm not going to give up his name because that breaks confidence. But after one season was over, when the Suns missed the playoffs like they did, talking to him, he's like, yo, Paul, man, they lied to me. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, they lied to me. From the GM to the coach to everything. I asked to be traded or released and let me go on a team that's going to at least make a run. My career is getting old. I want another run. I don't want to just fail it. They said, no. We need you. You're going to be a part of our growth. We will need you here for the young guys. You're going to be our starter. 2 days after trading deadline, he started playing 6 minutes a game. He goes, I want the hell out of here. These are a bunch of liars. They don't treat me right. It's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. These guys are upfront, truthful. Look, Shawn, look at this team. Chris Paul wanted to come here. Jay Crowder wanted to come here. Frank the Tank, fellow White Sox guy, wanted to come back after Sacramento. That wouldn't have happened before. James Jones, that's Monty Williams. That's Chris Paul. That's Devin Booker. It's a difference. These aren't the same old Suns.
You can't help but respect people. And guys, we're joined by Paul Richardson, PLR himself, from the Cave Show on the Sports Cave out in Phoenix, Arizona, talking NBA playoffs right here on SportsZone Chicago. You can't help but respect people who are honest with you. Okay, you don't have to like it, but that's the one thing that people want, and that's honesty. So at least you know where you can stand, so you can make decisions for yourself based off what they say. And I'm a little younger than you, but not much. And we grew up in the same era where you're only as good as your word. And when you can tell people, when you tell people something and you do it, the respect that you have and the respect that you garner throughout your profession is immense. And if that's the way the Phoenix Suns are running things, they're going to be good for a while. You have a lot of young talent, and you're going to, Chris Paul is getting a little long in the tooth, and you're going to need another point guard. You're going to need another couple players, as the years go on. You're going to be able to get some players, it seems like, if you have a front office that is extremely honest and lets people know where they stand and doesn't bull jive them. Because if they do, the word's going to get around. But if they don't, the word's going to get around.
Right. Makes a difference. It really, listen, everyone says Pollyanna, whatever. This team is, when you get, and I keep using the word, an adult, when you get an adult to run the ship, and you get an adult as your coach, and you bring in an adult as your point guard, and your best player on the team, even though he's 24, 25, still acts like an adult. Let me ask you this. Let me reverse this around. The Suns have sucked for a while. And I could sugarcoat it and say, well, they struggled or they had difficulty. They slept for a while. How many guys would sit through what Devin Booker sat through, but progressively improve his game? So when the lights are the brightest, he's ready for it without asking to be traded. So to me, that says a lot about what Monty's done in talking to him. But to me, it also says a lot about Devin Booker. Because nowadays, NBA, you lose. Look, Zion Williamson isn't even into his 4th year, and he's already making it known he doesn't want to be in New Orleans. And this guy actually has the weight of the NBA media behind him. You take a Devin Booker who was drafted, and I've got the receipt to prove it, by a GM that said he can do some other things, but he's going to be a great spot-up shooter for us. That's now turned into an all-star that can do everything, and not once have you heard him say, I want out of this mess here in Phoenix. And we were a mess. Not once did you hear it. You always heard him say, I want to be here when this thing gets turned around. I want to be here to help this thing get turned around. When was the last time you heard a young athlete want to fight through the hard to get to the good instead of just being traded to the good? I think that says a lot about him.
It says a lot about his character. It really, really does. Listen, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we have more sports conversation with our guy, PLR himself, Paul Richardson, from the Sports Cave out in Arizona. So keep it locked right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. Doubleheader split for the White Sox on Sunday. They dropped the opener against the Mariners 3-2, then came back in the nightcap for a 7-5 win. Seattle starter Hector Santiago, the first pitcher ejected under the new crackdown against grip-enhancing sticky stuff. He could draw a 10-game suspension. He was tossed in the 5th inning of the opening game. His glove also confiscated. Despite losing 7 of 10, the Sox still lead the American League Central by 2.5 games over Cleveland. The Cubs have lost 3 in a row and are 3 games behind the Brewers for the top spot in the American League Central. They fell Sunday at Los Angeles. The Dodgers with a 7-1 win. Clayton Kershaw with 13 strikeouts. The Brewers have won 5 straight. Sunday, a 5-0 win over the Rockies. The Pirates beat the Cardinals 7-2. Download the free Score app. Lightning fast updates so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved averaged $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings when switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2019. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
In some places, it's always rush hour, and the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars. In some places, it's always rush hour, and the honking never stops. At Nature Valley, we wouldn't have it any other way. Take in the outdoors with Nature Valley granola bars.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. We're sitting with PLR himself, Paul Richardson from the Sports Cave out in Arizona, talking NBA playoffs as his Suns are on the brink of reaching the NBA Finals for the first time since 1993. Talk to me about the atmosphere in and around Phoenix. How crazy is it? How crazy are your fans going for the Suns?
Okay, so first off, the Suns are the baby of Phoenix. A lot of people don't realize that because everyone thinks football is king. But the Phoenix Suns are the first of the top 4 pro teams to ever come here. And they started as the Suns. They didn't move from anywhere. So they're a generational team here. So when they came here in the late 60s, dads passed on to their sons, granddads to their sons. So it's generational sports. There were 10,000 people at a watch party at the arena the other night to watch Game 4 in LA. 10,000 people came down to buy $12 hot dogs to watch a game on TV. I mean, you really got to put it in that perspective. You could have bought a 12-pack of beer and some ballparks from the Walmart marketplace for like $6 and sat in your house and saved money. But they came down and bought hot dogs and $12 beers to watch a game on TV just to be part of it. That's what Phoenix, the Suns, have done to this city. Look, I was here when the Cardinals went to the Super Bowl, and the city was lit, but it's different because they're not Phoenix's baby. This is Phoenix's baby. When the Suns went 8-0 in the bubble last year, that was the talk. They didn't even make the playoffs, but that's all anyone wanted to talk about. Wait till next year, boy. We went 8-0 in the bubble. There were T-shirts, 8-0 in the bubble. I'm like, they didn't make the playoffs. Why are you wearing a shirt that says 8-0 in the bubble? But now it's all coming, to fruition, and everyone sees it and feels it. In this town, you can't go to a grocery store. You can't drive down a neighborhood. You can't go anywhere without seeing signs and everything up. Look, some guy got into a fight in Denver with the Suns in 4 shirt. Devin Booker buys the guy a ticket to come to the game. And This guy gets 15 minutes of fame for kicking a Denver Nuggets fan's ass in the stadium that spilled beer on him. He gets to come and go to a game. They lose a game, and everyone's like, well, I guess it's not the Suns in 4. Diana Taurasi, who's the greatest female player to ever play, the GOAT, she takes the microphone last night in her game back for the Mercury. And before she says anything, he says, Suns in 5. So now everyone in the city is yelling, Suns in 5. If you were not a basketball fan, what the Suns have done is brought every casual fan, put their butts right on that bandwagon, and this city is on fire. I'm covering the game tonight. I'm at the game, and I can't wait to see the energy that's going to be in that building with a possible closeout to go to the NBA Finals, something that hasn't been done here since 1993. And I tell you what, the city is just incredibly lit. And everyone all of a sudden is the Phoenix Suns. I was talking to a guy the other day. I always knew Devin Booker was going to be good. I'm like, you said, wait a second. Didn't you tell me? I love what Chris Paul's done. Wait a second. Didn't you tell me that was a dumb trade? Well, no. Once you start your answer with a stutter, you know that you lied.
What happened was, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't on my meds. Hey, you know what? And that's similar to when the Blackhawks, the hat that you're wearing, and the Blackhawks are wearing the Stanley Cup title. Oh, and a shirt. Okay. So today I got it's House Music Monday here. So I got my White Sox house head t-shirt on.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you know what? Last night my guy Paul Johnson was DJing at my buddy's spot. I was just too hungover from Saturday to go. You saw the pictures on Facebook of me and my high school boys, man. Dude, they said a lot of alcohol was consumed on Saturday/Sunday morning. And then the Sox game we went to was a rain delay. So the game started about an hour late. Then we get in the game, we start drinking. And then in the third inning, they cancel it. So then we go back to the bar that we were at. Yeah, it wasn't nothing nice, dude. Not nice. Not nice. But I don't know if it was 13, if it was 15. The second or third Stanley Cup title was the morning news, and this had to be the funniest thing I think I've ever seen on live TV. And they were talking about it was I don't know if it was a closeout game or not, and they're like the Blackhawks Stanley Cup game tonight, and blah 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 blah, and it's got fans in Chicago, really really pumped. And there's a black dude walking by, and they're like, hey, are you excited for the Blackhawks game tonight? He goes, you know what, the Blackhawks, man. You're like, yeah. The Blackhawks got black people watching hockey. And he's like, there's nothing else to say. Okay, thank you. Back to the studio.
That's true.
And it really was. I mean, there's just people, and because it's not there's not a lot of black, African Americans or black folks, because I have to come from America. There's not, and man, they were just in the bars, and it was just nuts. So I understand that feeling. Dude, I am so happy for you guys. If you guys close it out today, who do you want? You want Trey, or do you want the Greek Freak? And don't give me. I don't care who we play. I don't care who we play. I'm just happy to get to the finals. Who do you want?
Milwaukee.
Okay. Why?
Believe
Why
it or not.
Milwaukee?
Because their coach couldn't adjust himself out of a plastic bag. That guy cannot make his in-game adjustments and his after-game adjustments, his ATOs. I just have no faith in it. Now, I'm not saying they're not talented enough to win, but I think a lot of their win would be in spite of, not because of. Whereas I think Nate McMillan is an incredible coach to details. Just look at Atlanta. They were 4 games under 500 when he took over. Look at Indiana. Indiana fired his coach, his GM, should have fired his GM. All those players that could play for Nate, they couldn't play for nobody else. That's like leaving your wife to marry the girlfriend, and then leave the girlfriend leave you too, and you're like, man, I should have stayed. I wonder why. Yeah. So it's that same dumb mentality. You've got someone that works and that's good, and you get rid of them for an unknown. And that's what Indiana did. As soon as he got on that Atlanta staff, honestly, I was like, ooh, boy, Pierce better pull it together. Nate gonna get that job. And, and Nate got that job. And so I'm gonna trust. If it was talent-wise, I would say give me Atlanta. And I'm not dogging their talent. I just think talent in Milwaukee is better. But because of the coaching, please give me Milwaukee. I'd rather take that and trust Budenholzer to do the wrong thing as opposed to Nate to do the right thing.
And you know what? One of the things we were talking about earlier in this segment, but also earlier in the show, was just the lack of dog that I see in the Greek Freak. Like yesterday, I saw an aggressive Giannis yesterday. I saw a very aggressive one. And then they showed his shot chart. He had he made 1 3, missed 1 3, and everything else was in the paint. Everything else, when he's in there, like it's a done deal. It's a wrap. But he doesn't want to do that. And we talked about the stat boys and the nerd boys, and this gets into the mind of the players. Like, okay, take threes. It seemed like yesterday Giannis was like, bump this. I'm going down low. I'm going to impose my will, and you know what? I'm gonna get a whole bunch of mugs to foul me, and I'll take 15 seconds at the free throw line too. Damn it!
Which why is that rule on the book if you don't enforce it? Why is that rule even on the book? People are helping the refs. 14, 41, 42, 43. Blow the whistle.
Oh, I love it. I love when they start counting. Dude, that was awesome. That was so awesome. When they're counting, I was like, dude, they're killing them. They're killing me, Smalls. They're killing me. So if it comes to fruition, Suns and Bucks, what do you think? 5, 6, 4?
7.
You think it's 7? I think it'll go 7.
7. The one good thing is the Suns have home court no matter what. If they win, no matter who they play, have home court. And I do like the fact that it's back the old way.
2-3-1-1-1. 2-2-1-1-1. Yes.
2-2-1-1-1. Yeah, I like that a lot better. It takes the advantage away from the team that doesn't have home court. So, or the extra advantage, because if you lose game 1 or 2, they close you out without coming back, and your home court meant nothing. If you lose 1, all you got to do is get back. You're coming back home no matter what. Mm-hmm. So, I think it makes a big difference. But yeah, I think it'll go 7. I really do. I think the Bucks have enough talent, even though I don't trust their coach. I think they have enough talent. But don't let Phoenix mess around and win, and there's a parade and 119-degree heat. You're going to see it. You remember when the Bears won the Super Bowl and all them dummies were out there? It was like -8. And I know I went to Lane Tech, and these cats, their horns were sticking to their lips because it was so cold. Could you see these cats passing out? Because they're not going to be down there drinking water in 118 like you're supposed to.
No.
These fools are going to be turned up in 118-degree heat.
It's
going to be hilarious.
With those Truly cans. Dude, you would have to have that parade either at night when it's only 95 degrees or 6 o'clock in the morning when it's only 102. It's the only time you can have that parade.
Yeah, if they win it all, man, I can't wait to see how they pull this parade off, because it's going to be hot as hell.
And then just add a million people down there. That won't add to the heat at all.
No, 115 a couple weeks ago. I looked up. I was like, I'm a dark brother. I can't hang out in that sun like that. I just disappear. I go straight to melt.
Hey, well, good luck to your Phoenix Suns tonight, man. And I wish you guys well. And it's been a long time coming. If you got just to get back to the finals, it'll be a long time coming if you win the finals, because you guys haven't won the finals, the NBA final championship before. So it will be it'll be you guys are gonna go nuts. So and Phoenix is already a great place to party, man. You put an NBA title in there, most are gonna go ham, dude. The city's gonna go, it's gonna explode, and all the surrounding Scottsdale, Chandler, all those other places, they're gonna go nuts too. So, hey, buddy, do me a favor. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, brother. I love talking sports with you. Do me a favor though, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Monday through Friday, get you on the Cave Show, delivering sports talk radio. Easiest way to get to it is just go to thesportscave.com. Cave is with the K. Hit that listen live button, 1:00 Arizona time. There we are. And then on social media, the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at the Sports Cave. Caves with a K. And then I'm at PLR on sports. So, my man, I appreciate you for having me. Go White Sox. I'm tired of all these other people trying to talk nonsense. We have a first place team with 3 major injuries. We are the team to beat with that pitching staff. Go Sox.
See, peep that uni, boy. Peep that uni. Hey, you know what? We were talking about them earlier, and you know what? I'm predicting. I think the Yerminator might turn it around. He had 2 hits yesterday. He had 3 ribbies. After he'd been, ever since Tony put him on blast, he'd been in a slump. And I think yesterday, after he was such a big contributor, after the game, they congratulate each other. Tony La Russa came up, he went to hug him, he kind of just slapped him, like kind of like a father, like a coach. And, when you finally build, when you have an issue with a player and you've worked through that issue, and it's kind of like, all right, I love you, and get back to it. So watch out for Yermin Mercedes. Maybe maybe going on a little bit of a hot streak, while Eloy is down there with you down in Arizona with doing some baseball activities. Because if he can start yoking again and we get Eloy back, that's cool. Jose Abreu is going to be his day-to-day. He's just got a bone bruise. I'd say give me a week, 6, depending on how bad it is, because it could have been really bad. He could have hit a nerve, and so which made him seem worse. So we'll see how it goes. But there's Yohan Moncada's got to start hitting again. That's my guy. I love him, but he's got to get a little more dog in him. He doesn't got it. And Tim Anderson's got to get back on track being Tim Anderson. So the pitching staff is doing as good as they can, the starters.
Yes.
But they need some run support, and if they can start putting runs up on the board like they did earlier in the season, or like they did in the second game yesterday, when they put up a big 7 spot, I think we'll be much better. And we're still 2.5 games up, so go Sox. And when next time you come to the Shy, bro, we're gonna have to go to the Sox game and throw a few back.
Let's do it. I'm all Chicago except the Cubs, so now Chicago knows that. So I put myself on blast. Exactly. Them.
See, there you go with that nonsense. My producer's one of those people.
Yo, bro, I appreciate you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Hey, it was a pleasure. I love talking to people who know sports.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll talk soon, Papa.
All right, bro. See you later.
All right, stay warm, stay cool out there. All right, guys, that was Paul Richardson, PLR himself from the Sports Cave out in Arizona, and they are going to go nutso if the Phoenix Suns win tonight and get to the NBA Finals. Dude, we know how it's been, Ivan. You've had two championships, 2 teams. You've had 4 championships in your lifetime, but 2 teams. The Hawks was awesome because it included the city.
Yeah.
The Cubs were just the north side and some bandwagon jumpers. But I've been fortunate to see all of them. We got close in 06 or January of 07, but it didn't come to fruition with that. But it's in Phoenix. Have you ever been out to Phoenix?
Man, you know what? I stopped on I was flying back to Seattle when I was in the Navy, so I had a transfer flight. And I went out there. I wanted to go downtown, but dude, I walked out of the airport, and I was like,
hell no.
No. I was like, no. I took like 10 steps out there, dude. I tried to take a breath, and I was like, yes. I had beeline right back into the airport. I was like, yeah, I'm good right here. Let me get a tequila sunrise at the bar. I got an hour. I'll stay right here. Don't worry.
Bump this. I'm staying.
No way in hell. No. That was just way too hot. That was another hot. That was different hot.
Yeah, I got my boy lives out there. My boy Bob Graber. Shout out to Bob Graber. Jono, I call him Big John. John. And that's a funny story between us. But big shout out to my boy Bob Graber. And again, big shout out to Paul Richardson, PLR himself, man. Funny, you know how we met? It was funny. So when we went to go see Bob a couple years ago, me and Maya went out to spring training, and he was our Uber driver. And we were talking. He's like, yeah, I got a sports show and this. And I was like, no way. I said, so do I. He says, you're from Chicago? Yeah. He goes, so am I. I was like, where'd you go to school? Like Lane Tech. I'm like, not another one of you Indians.
And we just become best friends.
And we literally did, dude. We did. And we've been rocking together ever since, man. For 3 years. And so, when I head back out there, he comes out here. Because he co-hosted my show 2 years ago. When we were up back in Oak Lawn. So it's yeah, dude, it was good stuff. He's a great dude, Chicago guy. He's a North Sider just like you. Like I said, Lane Tech kid, and he knows his sports, and that's what I care about the most. He knows his sports. So great stuff, dude. Can you believe 3 hours has come and gone? Unbelievable, man. I want to thank all our guests. We had Jason and Joseph on today in top of the morning segment. I want to thank my guy Ken Davis for coming on. Definitely want to thank our guy PLR Paul Richardson for coming on from Arizona and talking NBA final or NBA playoffs. They're not in the finals yet. NBA playoffs. And definitely need to thank you, man. And all you guys made it a great show. Also want to thank Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, our social media guru, and my co-host in absentia, Maya Kai, everyone together. Man, this made it really, really, really fun. It's a good show. And I'm excited to come back on Wednesday because we might have the NBA Finals set. So we'll see. We will see. Oh, actually, no, we won't because it's only 2-1 right now in the East. So it'll be either 3-1 or 2-2. So, but anyway, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take a 45-hour break, and on the other side of the break, we'll be back at you at 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time on Wednesday. So for Elliot, for Clarence, for Maya, for Jason, Joseph, and my guy Paul and Ivan Vargas.
Hey guys, check out What's Up Cuz tonight. Should be fun. Jason, Lance, and I are gonna talk NBA basketball and like Jason mentioned before, the Olympics, track and field, and a bunch of other hot topics in the world of sports. So check it out, 6:00.
It's gonna be dope. I'm telling you, as I always say, he's one of the hottest shows, man. Those guys have top notch guests, and the stuff that they cover is kick ass. So for everybody, guys, I'm your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra. Do me a favor, make sure you follow us on all social media sites, Facebook and Instagram. We're at SportsZone Chicago. On Twitter, we're at SportsZone Shy. Okay, follow our YouTube page at SportsZone Chicago. Now, I have 2 more words for you, folks. I'm out.